Every 27 years, Ben Magnet gets all his friends together and talks about his best friend in the world, Stephen King. And so this week, we're joining once again with Ben for talks about his best friend's most fantastic work. It's It Chapter 2, everybody.
King Talk.
Is that correct, Ben?
You made this out to be the intro to the Talking Stephen King with Ben.
It is Talking Stephen King with Ben Magnet, resident Stephen King expert.
This is actually the pilot for our new show. Ben?
I regret so much right now.
We're actually canceling Fake Nerd Podcast.
No,
we're not.
King Talk.
I am Sparkz Witty. You've already heard them. You love them. Ben Magnet is here.
Yeah, I'm here.
And Brandon T. McClure.
Hi.
And Mr. Ryan Eliopoulos.
It's me. I can't finish endings.
I can feel my face.
Hey, nice. I'm real glad.
The Weeknd wrote a
For
song
you.
about feeling your face.
Guys, it's been a whole week.
Yes, it has.
It usually
I
is.
missed everybody but Ryan because I saw Ryan, so
He happens to live with me.
I do.
You live
Yeah.
in the same house.
We
Yeah, you
happen to
can't
live
get
in the same
can't get
house.
rid of me.
At work, I only had a 4-day week, and it felt like the longest week of my life.
Yeah.
I took 2 days off this week.
Oh, that must have been nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I took sick days.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also had a 4-day week, and it did feel pretty long, so I know where you're coming from, buddy.
Yeah, I stepped on glass.
That sucks.
Did the thing we do, was that on Monday?
Yes.
Was that this week?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this has been a week.
Yeah, it has.
Wow.
Yeah, I stepped on glass this week with my bare feet.
I'm
Hey
sorry
guys,
about
I
that.
Big ouch.
don't recommend that. It was like a Three Stooges sketch.
I'll
Actually,
take it off
if
my
I'm-
calendar.
Yeah, if I'm honest, it was kind of like because So what happened was our window broke and glass was on the floor, but I thought I got it all.
Mhm.
And then I went into the bathroom I went to go to the bathroom and stepped on glass. Oh no! Gotta steady myself. Stepped on more glass. Oh no! Gotta steady myself. I stepped on more glass.
Oh,
Like
that's
Bruce
like
Willis and Die Hard, man.
No, that's like a really bad Tom and Jerry cartoon right there.
Yeah, I was Jerry.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeah, so that wasn't fun. And I found out my dog had diabetes.
Oh.
This
That's a
week.
bummer, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've had this dog for years, and she's turning 10 this month. And I had her when she was a puppy,
Mhm.
she just got to have insulin shots twice a day for the rest of her life.
Oh.
It's so interesting to think of like animals getting human diseases, but it's not a human disease. It's just a disease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone can get it, but it's not something you often hear.
yeah.
Like, yeah, that sucks. It affects everybody.
And my mom was like, I didn't even know dogs did it. And it's like,
Yeah.
my parents don't listen to this, but it is their fault because they think and I don't mean to be mean, but like
Well, spoon feeding sugar to your dog every day
they kept feeding her twice a day canned food.
Oh.
And there's a lot of
processed
fat
stuff?
in
Yeah.
canned food,
Yeah.
and that's how you get diabetes.
Wilford Brimley.
So that was, I don't blame them. She's so cute, you can't say no to her.
Yeah.
But now she's sick, and she's lost a lot of weight, but she looks good. But it's really
Bikini
sad.
season.
I miss that dog so much.
Oh.
Well,
Bikini season?
Well, she's losing weight. I don't know. Make a joke.
we made a joke about my other dog, Valentina. She's a little chunky,
Mhm.
so when she was laying down, we were like, "Look at that beach bod."
Dad bod.
Should I continue with my week, or should
Yes,
we wanna-
continue
Yeah,
with
why
your
don't you
week.
go? Yeah.
All right, I'll go first so we don't end on such a downer. Dog diabetes.
Double D's.
Let's see. I saw It Chapter 2. Obviously, we're talking about that this week.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
I'll be right back. Give me 2 hours, 45 minutes.
Jeez.
I saw Peter Butter Falcon, which is Shia
Yes.
LaBeouf's new film.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
More Shia.
The
please.
last time I saw Shia LaBeouf was Transformers: The Last Night.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Oh,
him in
man.
anything else.
Oh, well,
He's
he
been in a lot
he
of
had
good
a
stuff.
picture in the last night. He wasn't in it.
No,
It was
I
just
know,
a
but
picture.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either. The other time I seen him is in that cannibal song that one guy did.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's the only one in the audience clapping.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, so
Out in your yard, it's Shia
LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
I guess he this movie changed his life or something. He's no longer crazy or whatever. I don't know. But it's a really good movie.
That's good.
Is this the one that he's writing and directing and it's about his life, or is that a different one?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
This is the one with the kid with what's the term for it? Down syndrome, I believe is the term.
I've heard about this movie, but I don't think I've seen a trailer or anything for it.
I've seen it.
I have heard of it.
I've
It
seen
is
TV spots for it.
It is a feel-good movie.
Cool.
Thomas Hayden Church is in it.
Oh, okay. Now I've
He's a lot of fun.
got it. Now I'm recognizing it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's really good. But honestly, my week wasn't made until yesterday when I saw Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Now, that is a sentence I did not think you were going to say.
Guys, if you know the movie you're going into,
Swiping, no swiping.
it is really fun. It's also legitimately hysterical for me. I want to say for me because obviously my humor is a lot easier than a lot of other people's. But it walks a line of being sincere but also almost self-parodizing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is. It knows what it knows what the kind of movie it wants to make, and I think it wholeheartedly succeeds in making that movie. It's so weird.
It's the guy who made the Muppets movies, and he worked on Flight of the Conchords. So, comedy, he's definitely got a good comedy background.
Yeah, and the girl who plays Dora, she's from Transformers: Last Night. Movie's getting a lot of play this week.
Oh, she's the Scrapper girl.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, I kind of now want to see Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, she's also.
I actually liked her in that movie.
She's also in Instant Family, and I actually didn't recognize her from Instant Family. She's really good.
Oh,
up and coming actress. All right.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for a really good career from her. She's really good in it. How's
Benicio del Toro?
Jesus Christ, Benicio del Toro as Swiper.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's so.
I thought they was
funny.
gonna put a CGI Fox, but he's really
There's
Swiper.
There is.
It is a CGI.
It
Fox,
is a CGI Fox
played by Benicio del Toro.
voiced by
Wait,
Benicio del
do you
Toro.
not know who Boots is?
No, who's Boots?
Oh.
Don't tell him. Don't
Remind
tell
me.
him.
No,
I
tell me.
have
I want to
to.
know.
No, I didn't know it. It was the coolest reveal.
I wanna
I've
know.
ever
But
seen.
he's not going to see it anytime
Who's
soon.
Boots?
Danny Trejo.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, Machete's Boots.
Machete.
Machete. But he sounds like all high pitched and stuff, right?
No.
No?
No,
Is he
because-
Danny Trejo?
What? Just Danny Trejo.
Oh, the trailers lied to us.
It
God
only,
damn it.
It only happens once in the movie, and it's so worth it.
Awesome. Okay. Like a reveal that he can talk?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Benicio
I
del
kind of
Toro-
want to see this movie now.
Yeah.
So it's really
Why
cool.
do I want to see a Dora movie?
I'm telling you guys, like Patrick Willems' review on Twitter is spot on. That's this movie. And especially if it, this is not like a 5-star movie. No, it's like a 3.5.
But
But like
fun with it.
it's still a lot of fun. There's a line where Swiper says because Swiper's working with the bad guys, the mercenaries, and they're like, "Swiper, get that," and Swiper's like, "Swiper, yes, swiping," and he goes after them. And then
The easiest day Benicio has ever had in his life.
yeah, right. And then there is another bit with when they escape Swiper, and the girl who's with them is just like, "Why? We were chased by a fox with a mask. Why would a fox need a mask? Who's he hiding from? Other foxes?"
Yeah.
She has like a good 2-minute tirade on Swiper's mask.
Oh my god, that's great.
The movie was really funny. I saw it in a packed theater.
Wow.
I was surprised.
That movie's been out for a while, too.
Yeah, packed theater. I had a lot of fun with it. It's really fun.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. What else? Clean the place. Today's Star Trek Day.
Happy Star Trek
Happy
Day,
Star
Brandon.
Trek Day.
Today, the first day we recorded on a Star Trek Day. September 8th, 1966. First day Star Trek premiered.
Brandon, may you live long and prosper.
No.
He already said it. You have to.
Oh, shit.
You got to do it.
Why would you doom me to this fate?
Living long and happy?
Because you're the biggest Star Trek fan I know, and I want to make it a little bit better.
I tweeted a
There you
Star
go.
Trek hot take, which I will share here because screw it. All the abbreviations for every Star Trek movie is 3 letters, capitalized 3 letters: TOS, TNG, DS9, VOY, ENT. Discoveries is disco, and it drives me crazy.
I love it.
It drives me
Disco.
insane.
Star Trek Disco, baby.
It should be DIS,
Oh, okay.
and I'm just like, stop it.
No, it should be Star Trek Uri. The last 3.
I'm sorry, but
I
now
don't know how that's a hot take as much as a pet peeve, but I get it.
Yeah.
But now I'm just seeing people on the Enterprise playing Disco Inferno on the dance floor.
Listen
Yeah.
to the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Let's see. I caught up on.
It's only when Shatner comes back for a visit.
Right. I caught up on some comics. I caught up on Heroes in Crisis. It was only 3 issues away from the end, so I finally finished that one. Some mixed feelings about that one. Gonna have to wait to see what happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
With Wally. I can't say it feels more like Tom King is talking through the characters, less so the characters talking. Like they don't feel. Some of the characters don't feel like it's them. It just feels like Tom King saying, "This was my trauma."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of comes off in the comic. I'm not sure if that's a positive or a negative, if I'm honest.
Okay.
So very mixed up. I gotta see what happens with Wally with Flash Forward coming out.
If I'm being honest, that's so past me now. I completely forgot
Yeah,
about
I think
it.
it's Flash Forward, and then we'll see if Doomsday Clock ever ends.
Hey, issue 11 just came out.
It
Whoa.
did. I have a theory that Doomsday Clock 12 might spoil Flash Forward, and so they're waiting until Flash Forward is done.
Jeez, who knows what's going on over there? Because we
Seriously.
didn't really talk about it. But like Shazam's done.
Shazam
like
7 is coming out in 2 weeks, but it was delayed like 14 weeks.
Yeah, but then after that, the rest it's done. After that,
Yeah.
it's indefinitely delayed.
Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah, and Doomsday Clock started 2 years ago. So
Yeah,
what the hell?
I remember 2 years ago we were all talking about like.
Can you believe that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2
I
years.
looked at that date, November 2017.
Yeah,
That first book came out.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that Comic-Con, the year we went to Comic-Con.
the hype.
Brand, when you and I went to Comic-Con just for a day,
Mm-hmm.
there's a big thing for Doomsday Clock at the DC booth. They were like, oh my God, I can't wait for Doomsday Clock. That's our biggest thing.
And look, I want to be on record. It's good.
Yeah, no,
think Doomsday
that's great.
Clock
It's
is
a great book.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I'm happy for that.
I think I've said to you guys before. There's something happening between DC and Jeff Johns.
Before Shazam, I would say Doomsday Clock, maybe it's just its own beast, but after Shazam, something is absolutely going on.
and
There's no
how
way.
often- when was the last time we heard anything about the Three Jokers?
Jason Fabok is still talking about it on Twitter, but he's not releasing any details about when it's coming out. He's just like, I'm working on it.
It's also just so sad because Rebirth has been like the best thing to happen in DC Comics
Yeah.
in over a decade,
And it's kind of slowly like
and now
puttering out.
It's not puttering out, but it's like it's spinning on it's spinning aimlessly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of waiting to get to the point of why we all got invested to begin with at Rebirth and like
Yeah.
where are we going? And it feels like, yes, you're doing a lot of cool things with this characters, but it does feel like the whole DC Comics universe is waiting to make a big push forward into new storytelling, which hasn't quite happened yet. And I'm not saying like, oh yeah, every single story is not doing new storytelling. Obviously they are. But I'm saying like overall the DC Comics feels like it's kind of holding its breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that they're different companies, but Marvel can put out 12 issues every single week. And for 3 months. And then they can't get one comic out in like 3 months.
I wonder if the thing is that, you know, just in comparison of that, Hickman was working on that for 2 years. And
You wouldn't-
but my point being, like, how long did Johns have to prep what he was doing if he'd had more time to have it ready before they decided to launch the Rebirth event, but they wanted to launch the Rebirth event because sales were bad.
They needed it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I wonder where that line
Even
might
then-
be. No, obviously, like, there's more going on than that, but it's... I wish that Johns had more backlog prepared for this than when they started Rebirth
Because
and what's happened.
I feel like we talk about Doomsday Clock too much all the time for people who don't read
We
it.
haven't
But-
talked about it for a while.
Have we not? Okay.
No.
It has been a while.
Okay. Nope, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, for those of you who probably
We
don't remember,
were talking comparisons.
No, I
between,
lost
okay.
it.
All right.
Well, for those of you who probably don't remember, Doomsday Clock is the crossover between the Watchmen characters and the DC characters.
We will absolutely talk about it when that book is done.
Yeah.
We are 100% talking about it, but we're waiting.
Yeah. And it was, yeah. I also caught up on Gideon Falls. I was about 12.
I am
wild
behind on that book. I'm behind on a lot of books that aren't Marvel.
Gideon Falls is fantastic. You know, I said before when I was reading Superman or Action Comics or Heroes in Crisis even, but like it's the definition of conflicted. Like I don't know if I dislike the book, I don't know if I like the book. Gideon Falls, I'm dropping every issue and I'm like, holy shit, wow, oh my god! Like I'm every issue I close that back cover and I'm just like, oh my god, this has just changed the series forever.
Speaking of Jeff Lemire, I picked up because he released it Berserker, that first issue Berserker.
Oh yeah, how's it?
Hey guys, that's a disappointing book.
Oh no,
Let me tell you, it's drawn beautifully, but there is literally nothing unique about that book. That is a Conan-esque character being brought to New York City.
Birthright.
But it's literally Birthright, but there's like, oh, I'm part of the Wolf Clan and my wife was murdered. And it's like, it's so generic. And it's not like Jeff Lemire is such a better writer that I'm like, do you just have to get through the bullshit of the first part to get to the good stuff?
Maybe.
Because I'm like, this is super boring for a Jeff Lemire book. I was really disappointed.
I've not seen Twin Peaks.
Yes.
But from everything that you've told me about Twin Peaks, Gideon Falls reminds me very much of Twin Peaks.
It's definitely more horror centric Gideon Falls, but yeah, like crazy mysteries, murder, like interesting townsfolk, small town stuff. Yeah,
mm-hmm. And
That's
the
true.
reveal of the last arc when it was revealed that both the city and the town are both called Gideon Falls and like what that means, like holy shit.
I think
It's true.
I think it's so funny that you quote a coffee commercial related
I
to Twin
don't
Peaks
care.
because that's the Twin Peaks thing you know, and that has nothing to do with the show. Like not really. Like that's not something they say in the show.
yeah, that's really funny. A Japanese,
but I appreciate
a
why
Japanese
you're,
commercial for an American.
This is your in. That's how you're in on the Twin Peaks stuff, and I appreciate that you're referencing
You
it.
have an in, and that's all I care about.
My final thing is I started catching up on Hawkman, which is
Robert Venditti,
yeah,
is he still doing it?
yeah, and it's really good.
I bought that first issue and really liked it, and then I was like, I got it.
He
drop it.
introduced a Kryptonian reincarnation of Carter Hall,
That's cool.
who lived on Krypton when it was being destroyed.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and so like Carter, the story of the first arc is that Hawkman is going through his past selves and meeting them and talking to them. So he talks to the one who is the savior of the microverse. He talks to the one who was on Krypton at the time of his destruction. He talks to obviously the one from ancient Egypt, and he bounces back and forth. And one of the issues he's able to bring all of them to the future.
Just a bunch of Hawk boys.
Yeah, and the dragon, and Barbados' dragon from Dark Knight's Metal, who is a Hawkman,
Yep.
shows up. And I was like, oh my god, they just put out all the stops.
I'm glad that the Dark Knight stuff is keeping around.
Yeah, it seems to have re-energized a lot of storytelling within DC.
Yeah.
Like Hawkman, Justice League, all coming from Dark Knight.
That
Dark Knight
Batman
Metal.
Superman book is directly tied to it too.
Yeah,
Yep.
really liking it a lot. And that's pretty much all I did this week. Who wants to go next? Benjamin.
God damn it. Okay.
I just pointed. Sorry.
Yeah, you did. And the Brandon jumped on that part as well.
I've spoken.
Yeah, apparently so. What did I do this week?
Did you read a book?
I did.
You bought a game.
I did.
What else did you do?
All right, so we did a lot of recording for Basement Arcade on Monday, which was my day off. For Labor Day, which was really fun.
Spoilers.
It's fine. And then I started watching Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, keyword started. I know I need to
the
watch
Netflix
yeah,
version?
Netflix version.
God, I need to get in that.
And I also need to watch Dragon Ball, Brandon. So sorry, I haven't started that one yet.
My balls?
Dragon Ball Super.
My Dragon Balls.
Super, take your time.
Oh Lord. Oh, Fake Nerds After Dark, everyone.
I just watched the latest episode. Jesus.
A Super?
Jesus, 17. Jesus.
Latest episode means such different things
I know,
to me,
but-
but I'm with you.
But 17.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Cool, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
17's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, also I finished Rachel Litvin's book, the Chronicles of Royal High, The Lost Noble. Finished that, and I can't.
And you actually made good on your fake promise last week.
First of all, I never promised. I
Hey,
said
this
there was
is
a
the Fake
possibility.
Nerd podcast.
Oh.
First of all, I never promised. I said it was a possibility, and now that possibility is coming true because Michael from Downright Nerdy, shouts to them. They were talking to her about it, and then she messaged me and said, "Oh yeah, I'm totally down for to collaborate for an interview." I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
Right on.
Wheels are turning.
She seems like a nice lady. I'd like to read her book.
Yeah,
I don't have time right now. I'm in school.
Yeah, you have school stuff. That's totally understandable. But yeah, Chronicles of Royal High, I freaking love it. I can't wait to read the second one. I'm looking forward to book 2. And yes, I finally bought Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
I'm so jelly.
Of that,
I want to play it. I don't have the time to play it,
Yeah.
frankly, but I want to play it.
Oh, the reason this. I don't know if this is a humble brag or not, but last week I was doing my fantasy football draft with a bunch of friends of mine from from NorCal, and one of them was talking to me. He's like, he's also a big
We're all here.
San Francisco, San Jose,
Oh,
that far northern, not the Monterey area, buddy.
my bad.
It's all right, no worries. But he was talking to me because he's also a big Nintendo Switch guy. And he was like, "Hey, Ben, have you been playing any new games?" He's like, "Dude, I don't have the money for it. I don't have the money. I mean, if I can make the time probably, but I just don't have the cash. That's my biggest problem because I'm going through a little financial straits right now." And then next thing I know, the little cha-ching turns on my phone, and I look at it. Dude gives me $60 and tells me to go buy a new game.
That's
just
amazing.
right off the bat.
Look at that.
And I almost start crying. I'm in the middle of my freaking draft, and I'm like, "Oh."
Nice.
Sometimes friendship's great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. And I got Fire Emblem. I was up way too late last night playing it, but I love that game. It is so much fun. It's not just the tactical RPG battles that a lot of people would associate Fire Emblem with. You also have to talk to your students. You have to teach class. You have to organize
relationships.
Yeah, you have to build relationships with your students because you're leading these kids into war. And if you're wondering, I am playing on classic mode, so if my characters die, they die for good.
Good. That's how you should. That's the way it should be.
That's how I'm playing it. That's how
Sounds
they
like medieval X-Men, and I'm into it.
Maybe my second playthrough I play through casual because I just want to get through the story
Yeah,
quicker.
That's fair.
And the house I picked, in case anyone was wondering, is Blue Lions,
Rawr.
which apparently
The minority.
Which apparently is a minority because every
Yeah.
time I look on Twitter, because Emma's playing it as Emma Fife from Schmodown, she's playing it as well. She tweets about it a lot. She picked the Blue Lions as well. So I thought, maybe a lot of people do pick the Blue Lions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm Team Blue Lions for my first playthrough. Then I probably go
Golden Deer.
Yeah, you're good, Ryan. Once you start playing,
Whenever I play, yeah.
yeah, Golden Deer.
Because Ryan's already proclaiming Golden Deer, I guess I'm going to be the third house in that.
Black Eagles.
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty.
Just to play the other avenue, we'll see.
Okay, and I finally
But
bought.
honestly, Blue Lion's story sounds so good.
I
Because I've listened to Waypoints. Shout outs to them. That's a fantastic podcast. And they've talked about Fire Emblem 3 houses 4 times.
Yeah.
Lately, because different people started playing.
Yeah.
And so each time another person started playing, they started talking about this is what's happening, and they were usually playing different houses too.
Yeah.
And so the last person to start. It was Rob Zachney on that podcast, and he started playing the Blue Lions, and he's talked about hey, there's some crazy stuff, and apparently if you play the Golden Lion, the Golden Deer or the Black Eagles, you get some amount of overlap about what's going on with those other two houses, but neither one gets much about what happened with the story with the Blue Lions, apparently. Like, when you get to the second half of the game. They don't know all the fine details of that as well. So, like, Blue Lion stays relatively a mystery unless you play it. So I'm pretty interested in that for sure.
All right.
Also, apparently they have, like, the best character in the game amongst them, which is Dedue.
Yeah, Dedue is pretty cool.
That's what I hear. Everybody from every house is like, Dedue's pretty great.
Dedue, right now, he's a tank for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my character, Dimitri, the leader, the prince of the kingdom, and Dedue, they're like my 3 go-to tanks. Like, I have my archers.
That's why I want to play this game.
It's so much fun.
I just want to talk about this game.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
I mean, I'm gonna once I get home tonight, I'm probably gonna be up till 5 a.m. again playing it because it's like I gotta get through one more battle. I just gotta.
Bless it.
Dude.
And downright nerdy again. Because I made them an unboxing video when I got their. Package.
I saw they shared that.
They put it.
Yeah,
I watched their
video.
episode, and then your entire video's in there.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was funny because originally I just made it for them, for Michael and Riley, and possibly to show Dave and Rachel if they ever saw it. And last Sunday, I was trying to get a damn video I took on my phone sent to him, but nothing was working until I finally figured out an avenue for him to get it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, cool, thanks, man." And he said he was gonna play in his video. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I honestly didn't think he was, but then he did.
Of course he is.
And then
of course he is.
And
He's
I'm
Michael
not watching.
Carls.
I'm listening to it while I'm at work.
And then you hear your voice.
And then I hear the doo, and there I am. And then I sneakily look at my phone, and there I am unboxing the package.
That's awesome, man.
And even then, Rachel was watching this too. I was actually in the live chat with Michael and Rachel, and we had a good conversation for for a good long while.
Yeah,
They're a bunch of good people.
They are awesome. They're awesome people.
I'm excited for them to be here in December.
I am excited for them to be here. I'm excited
to
to
them
talk.
a new one about Star Wars, baby. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to Michael and Riley. I'm excited to talk to Rachel about her book because she was talking about a whole bunch of things with Michael with Downright Nerdy. And like, man, I want to talk to her about that too.
That's awesome.
Good things.
Demographics.
And also, I bought comics today, which made me happy.
That's fantastic.
I probably shouldn't have, but I'm like, you know what? I need some good things in my life.
Yeah, you do.
I bought like $40 worth of comics yesterday. It broke me.
Yeah. Do you want me to go next?
Sure.
Because I know how you want to close this out with Hoxpox, right?
I mean, excuse me. Yeah, I got the Hoxpox is pretty bad.
BT Dubs, I was trying to get Hoxpox today.
You tried to get the Hoxpox and it wasn't available.
Well, because all the other issues were so I have to wait for second printing. I'll wait for second printing. Yeah. But I am on the I haven't started reading all the Hoxpox because I'm waiting until I get.
You've contracted it.
I've got the books and I want more of it.
You're in stage 1 of the infection.
He's a silent carrier.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
We are planning.
I know, which is why I want
to.
Yeah, no, which is why I want to read it all. But I want to get that #1 reprint of Magneto saying "We're your new gods." I'm like, big dick energy, Magneto. Okay,
real quick, I've bought almost every single variant possible except for the really expensive ones.
Yeah,
and I was like an inch away from like, what if I get the second covers too? What if I get all the second prints too? I'm like,
Ryan,
no, Ryan,
you're really in it.
Ryan,
I've never been this hard in buying ever.
I don't know if you're in worse financial straits than I am. Don't.
No, don't worry. Life comes before comics.
Okay,
barely.
That's our motto: life before comics.
Barely.
Sparkz. I guess it's your turn.
I bought 4 variants this week.
Yeah, I figured that I'll go first because a lot of my stuff actually ties to Ryan anyway.
Same, yeah.
So some of the stuff I did this week, I got real quick on our YouTube. We are now completely caught up on our podcast episodes. It took me a little bit, but they're all caught up. They have new video intros and new video outros involving visuals that go along with Jeremy's fantastic new music for us. So that goes from Fake Nerd episode 155 all the way up to 158 from last week, and then this one will come up real quick. We also got some of them moved into the Just the Topic section, where if you just people who just want to listen to only our topics, which I'm sure there are some. Mm-hmm. And so that's something I worked on. Ryan and I did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We played
mostly me and you.
We played some Gears of War 4.
Yes, we did the first act.
Yeah, we did the first act of Gears of War 4. We're getting ready to play Gears of War 5 because we have access to it because of Game Pass, and so we decided to jump into Gears of War 4 because neither of us had played it.
Real quick, guys, we've talked about it before, but if you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, you're truly missing out because not only are there hundreds of games available for like $10 a month, new games like Gears of War 5, which is a brand new game, and Blair Witch, they are both available on Game Pass. You can play both those games for cheaper than buying both of them. Yeah. Like it is the best deal ever. Yeah. Like it's so good.
It's pretty nuts. Game Pass is,
and it has a bunch of old
Xbox
and Xbox 360 games on there you can play. It's great.
Yeah. It really is awesome.
But not Mortal Kombat.
the one game,
the one game we needed so
trials and tribulations.
So yeah, we did that a little bit. Ryan's catching up on My Hero Academia.
Hell yeah, that's a great
he's
show.
almost done with season
Yes,
2, so I
it
was
is.
watching some of that with him.
You were playing the theme song on our way over here today, and actually I wanted to... So on the way
Season
back...
1 theme song.
I know, it's season 1, but on the way back home, I'm going to be playing a lot of anime openings, just warning you now.
I'm into it.
I watched some shows on my own. I was watching Winona Earp because I'm behind on season 3, so I'm trying to catch up on that before season 4 starts. And I also have been watching Voltron, the Legendary Thunder, the DreamWorks
So
series
excited.
on Netflix.
One of you finally got started on that.
Yeah, I'm nearly at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. And intermixed with that, I also caught up on Dr. Stone.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
still
yeah,
a solid anime.
Yeah.
I'm now 1 week behind, but it's good show. This is a good anime. I'm excited about it. And I read in comics. Obviously, I have the Hoxpox too, so I've read all the House of X, Powers of 10 stuff that's been going on. But I also read James Tynion's newest issue, the Something Is Killing the Children.
Right,
I
bought
read that this
today.
morning. Yeah, that's great.
Good.
Yeah, really like Something Is
Heard
Killing
a lot of
the
good
Children.
buzz about that one.
It is a solid introductory issue.
Right on.
The main, not the main, like one of the main characters, the focal point character, I guess, is very anime inspired, but in a very Western audience take, and I think it works really well.
Awesome.
So I'll say that about that. Otherwise, I played a little bit of Dead Cells.
That's funny because I was like, man, Dead Cells is now on Game Pass. I can't wait to play it. And then you played it before I did.
I did.
I'm happy
I
about
had
it.
some. I had some downtime where I didn't really want to watch anything, and I was waiting for stuff to buffer on the computer, and I didn't want to do any of my schoolwork. So I decided to jump into Dead Cells, and that's a pretty easy game.
hardcore side-scrolling platformer.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy game to kind of jump into and jump back out of. So I jumped into that, and that was actually a lot of fun. It's interesting. I enjoyed playing it.
It's known for being a really, really tough game, and it's
Yeah.
procedurally generated every time you die. So
Oh, wow.
it keeps you on your feet.
It's cool.
You'll probably like it, Ben.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about another game that I downloaded because I know we're going to talk about it later, the Nintendo Direct that happened this week.
We definitely will. Yeah.
Yeah. But there was I don't know if this is in the news or not, but
What's a Nintendo?
well, Brandon, I'm kidding.
Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Genesis does what Nintendo.
There you go.
So there was a game that released called Kirby Super Clash.
That free to play mobile
free
bullshit.
free to start mobile game for Nintendo Switch, which I played for a hot second. Then I'm like, no, just no.
That game is interesting on the surface
Yeah.
because it's a 2D Kirby Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, it's 4 Kirby's versus a monster.
Is
4
it the
different
Smash Brothers assets? It looks like it.
kinda, except there's actual health bars, not damage percentage.
But I mean, it looks like Kirby from Smash, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's all the different Kirby's, and there you have a knight, a mallet, a wizard, and a doctor, or a scientist that throws files of potions at shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It was free to download, so I did, and I'm like, no, I don't like this, so I
Feels like a mobile game.
deleted it. But it was free, so I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, and I didn't like it. But
I
if people
love
do
free
like
stuff.
it, that's good for them.
But was it free?
It was free.
Oh.
As long as you have a Nintendo Online subscription, it's free.
I know, Ben. You said it a couple times.
God damn.
Hey,
Don't
Ben,
worry.
what's written on the ceiling?
No.
Don't do it.
Go ahead.
No.
How was your week?
Oh, it was good. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm getting a drink of coffee. Hold on.
I kind of wish we were a video podcast just for that beat. Like just to have that beat.
Yeah.
So what you guys don't know is that
I still hate myself for almost looking up at the ceiling that one time.
I just
One time?
Yeah.
One time?
just when
Were there more? I can only
Yes,
remember
there's been more.
I only remember the one.
think
I
there
remember
was a
2
second
specifically.
one.
There was one when we were about to go see Christopher Robin in the
Yes,
movie theater.
that was the
and
one.
You 100% looked all
Wasn't
the way
it in
up.
my room?
But there was one in Ben's room,
Ben's room.
where we were talking about it, and we did it again, and Ben fell for it again.
in his own home.
And we were all like, Ben, we were literally just referencing it.
Ben,
I remember-
what I was speaking of was Ryan's beat of like, okay, Ryan, what did you do this week? Drink in hand.
Let me tell you about my coffee, guys.
All right, so yeah, I did most of the stuff with the Sparkz this week. With Xbox Game Pass, I downloaded a bunch of games and I played a bunch of games just for a little bit of time. Nothing really caught me.
Substantial.
I played more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Let me tell you real quick why the game bothers me. Because
Ooh.
have you guys played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 or 2 at all?
Negative.
Yes.
Okay. Even if you did, it doesn't matter. That is a game that you have all the Marvel characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a team of like Wolverine and Scarlet Witch and you go talk to Nick Fury, it's Wolverine talking. We're like, hey, Bob, hey, Nick Fury. In this game, no matter what character you're playing as, it's just generic dialogue. So, and the problem is, like, let's say I just got the Wasp added to my team. I'm playing as the Wasp. I go and talk to a character, and that character says, hey, have you talked to the Wasp? And then you, as the Wasp, saying, no, I haven't talked to the Wasp. It's super lazy.
Oh, no.
It's super lazy.
Oh,
that really
no.
sucks.
Yeah, and there's so many little things that I'm just like, man, these games from like 15 years ago are better than this game in certain aspects. Like, it's a very simple game, and I'm just like, the further I get along to it, I'm like, man, again, the story's really fun, and like the combat's nice. You do not unlock any more moves. There's one additional costume that you have to really work hard to get, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like a one and done kind of game, I guess.
Oh, right.
But they have all this DLC coming out.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just like, I just really want to play those other games.
No,
again.
because I was really looking forward to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 because I remember the hype for the last 2 games. I thought, oh, hey, a return to form.
Absolutely
this is
worth
great.
playing once for sure. But like, if it's like, there's not a lot of extra content. It is you're going to play the story and then it's going to sit on the shelf, which is kind of a shame.
That is a shame.
But again, like the characterization is what I'm still there for, and now that stuff's really great.
Okay.
All right, excuse me. Let's get to the Hawksbox real quick. So you
Get his
read
manly voice on.
you read Hawksbox 4.
I
Excuse
read
me,
it all.
House
read
of
it all, baby.
House of X. All right, so I'm not going to get into too much spoilers, but
Please don't.
This is
I
no.
have them literally right next to us.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to spoil it either, but this is a truly great comic, and this might be the best single issue comic of the year. And it's not just me saying that; I've seen a lot of people say that. Death in comics is a mostly trivial thing at this point, right? Characters die all the time. A lot of times it's done for business reasons, to kill the character off, get a new character in. It's never done for really good story reasons. The last issue of House of X set up a cliffhanger of the X-Jet exploding, and then we're like, oh, what happened? And everyone thought, oh, they'll just bamf out of there, nothing bad will happen. You cut to the beginning of this issue, and people are already dead. I'm not going to say who or anything. This entire issue is all the X-Men almost dying. Pretty much all of them. And it is traumatic, and it is truly heartfelt. And the moments that the characters have with each other are some of the best written stuff I've read in comics in my entire life.
Some of the best written in X-Men interactions.
For real. It is emotional, and it is impactful, and you don't have to know anything about the X-Men. It is just so beautifully written, like the stuff between two friends talking, knowing they're about to go die. And it's super, super impactful. And I watched a bunch of videos because I wanted a bunch of different opinions because I got the Hawksbox. Everyone's got the Hawksbox. And when I first started talking about this X-Men relaunch, before it actually happened, I was under the mindset of like, hey, they should do something different for the X-Men. Get away from they're oppressed thing. Do something new. That was very white of me to say, realizing that now. Because this book is filled with tragedy and deals with things that minorities and people of color and LGBT people deal with at all the time. So a lot of these videos I watched were people of color and people in the LGBT community saying that this issue is the most impactful comic they've read in their entire life. It is super beautiful, and it's really sad. And the thing that's so powerful about it is at the end, when Xavier is looking at his mission that has failed, basically. And again, this is a spoiler. All the X-Men are coming back. You've seen the covers for all these books. They're all coming back. That's not the point. It's the point that the X-Men keep dying, and nobody cares. And Xavier gives a speech at the end that's like, every time this happens, people just look away. No more. And then it's just like 4 pages of newspaper printings of every time mutants have been killed, been murdered, and it's just no more, no more. And then it's one huge image of no more. And it is the most emotional I've been in a comic in maybe my entire life. It is so beautiful, and it is so resonant. And it's like, I can't believe I wanted to get rid of the X-Men history because this is their history. They are an oppressed people. And no more. After a while, it's been 60 years, and they've never fought back. And now people are like, oh, why is Xavier being a dick in issue 1? We know why now. It's because 16 million of them were murdered in 2000, and then Scarlet Witch got rid of all the mutants, and they're an oppressed people that it's so beautiful to read. And I'm getting very emotional just even thinking about it. But why don't you take over, Sparkz, real quick?
Yeah, those last pages are super effective, the ones related to Xavier.
You know what it reminds me of? There was an issue. I don't remember the issue, so forgive me, but it was Black Widow talking to someone after Hawkeye died, or quote-unquote died.
Yes.
And it was like, well, what does it matter? I mean, you guys die all the time and you come back. And Black was like, I don't know that he's coming back. Like, I understand.
We don't have a guarantee.
We don't have a guarantee.
Yes.
A lot of us have, but like, we don't know for sure. What if this is the one that sticks? What if I never see my friend again?
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing. Like, yeah, people die in comics all the time, and they always come back. But for the X-Men, that's their standard. That's their normal. Every big comic about the X-Men is all of them getting killed, and because they are a metaphor for real life, for people oppressed. And this is Hickman going, hey, what if the oppressed actually fought back? What if, they really had a revolution, and they happen to have superpowers? So it is the most exciting time in comics, probably honestly since Secret Wars, which Jonathan Hickman wrote, funny enough. But it's like, when you read a lot of comics, it just sometimes they feel like fluff, and this feels real, and it feels impactful, and like no beat is wasted. There's not a wasted panel. It is, and the humans are the bad guys. I sympathize with the humans because the X-Men are murdering their friends too, and it's like it's a really hard book to read. But that's what really gets me, because it's like you can tell the fun popcorn stories of the X-Men playing softball, and that's all fun. But like, the X-Men are about oppression, and it's really cool that Hickman's not running away from it; he's embracing it, and it's really powerful. Yeah, I commend it. This feels like an Image book that happens to have 60 years of history. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yes, really good.
Yes, that's my diatribe. Really that's my Hawks Pox, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, shall we get started into our bread and butter then?
Oh, have we not been doing that?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we've had longer ones before.
Yeah.
And here's your bread. And your butter.
Here's your bread and butter.
Okay, not in my ear, thank you.
All right, then to get started, Nintendo Direct.
Oh, this is where we're starting off?
Yeah, start with the big stuff first,
Yeah.
I believe. So, question
Answer.
for someone who, I'm not into the video game fandom as much as you guys. What is Nintendo Direct?
Nintendo,
Mini E3s.
Yeah, essentially it's their like I want to say maybe like state of the company, or they're like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what's coming out.
It's basically like, E3, it's like, hey, this is the big announcement for the year. Nintendo, instead of going to E3, they just do that every couple months for themselves. Like, hey, here's what's coming out in a couple months.
It's like every 4 months there's a new Direct, and it's like, hey, this is what we're working on, this is what's coming out, and here's new stuff.
Okay, well, I guess some of the new stuff is that some SNES games are coming to the Switch.
This is actually a really big one, and actually this is the basis of my article for Old School Gamer that I wrote this week.
This is basically Game Pass for Nintendo.
Yeah, essentially.
It's good.
So if you own a Nintendo Switch,
and you can get a controller, an SNES controller.
Yes, you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you're a member of the Nintendo Switch Online thing, which is like PlayStation Plus, except it's $20 for the whole year.
Yeah,
you can play NES games. Like, I want to say 35, maybe 40 NES games for free. It's a good chunk. It's an app on the system that you can download. If you have the online service, it's free, no problem.
They say the launch will include 20 SNES titles.
Yes, and they just did a new one for the Super Nintendo. And a lot of those, I want to say half of those games that are on the SNES app are not on the Classic Edition that came out a few years prior.
Yeah.
Because that's what Fanny was kind of giving me a little shit for when I told her about it. I was like, yeah, but all those games are on your Classic. I'm like, but not all of these. And just like what the NES one, they're going to keep releasing more games as the year goes by.
Let me tell you, actually, hearing about this news, kind of really want to get a Switch because they're putting Star Fox on there.
Yeah.
And I really want to play the original Star Fox again.
For free.
For free.
If you have Nintendo Online,
man.
which is $20 for a year.
Yeah.
I've been wanting them to remaster Star Fox for years.
$20 for a year.
For the whole, and best thing is Nintendo, because when they were announcing the service before, because originally the fans were like, hey, let's get the virtual console back. Nintendo's like, no, we're not going to do the virtual console, which is where you pay like $4 or $5 for a SNES or NES game, and it's like you download it on your Switch or your Wii U or whatever.
Everything was always piecemeal. This is like a nice whole thing.
This is straight up, is like, if you have the online thing, you can play these games as long as you want, for as much as you want. They're yours.
And it's a lot of great games, like a lot of Mario games, Metroid.
Well, for the Super Nintendo, it has like the obvious ones, like Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Link to the Past, Star Fox, Metroid, Super Metroid.
It's already worth it.
But even I started playing Breath of Fire, which is a Capcom Squaresoft RPG that I just started, and I'm like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. And a lot of those games are not on the Super Nintendo Classic, which I am still happy to own. So this is like, we're living in a golden age of retro video games.
It's funny because Nintendo is very regressive in terms of like they just got like online recently. Like they're very behind in terms of like the Xbox and PS4. So this is the first time they were like, hey, we have like a Game Pass thing for you guys, and everyone's like, wait, really?
Yeah.
You guys are actually doing something modern and progressive? Crazy.
Yeah, I actually think this is a really good idea.
Oh, this is great because you can play a lot of those classic games. The original cartridges are super hard to find or super expensive.
I mean, like we have like Sega and stuff like that, but like Nintendo's really like the old school gaming company.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Nintendo does their retro stuff right. Or at least they're doing it the best out of everyone else. I mean, Sega's trying releasing their mini later this month. But Nintendo is like, we are making all these classic games readily available for you to play on almost all their systems.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm really happy about this. This is so cool.
Star Fox.
Yeah, Star Fox is on there, Brandon. You can play it.
If you got a Switch.
Yeah, if you got a Switch.
It's
Or you
technically the cheapest console. So.
Hey, Sparkz, I'm going to borrow your Switch so I can play Star Fox. Thanks for that. Thanks
sorry,
so much.
you can't. It's already on loan to Ryan.
I mean,
Hey, Ryan, I'm going to borrow your Switch.
hey, Sparkz, I'm giving you back the Switch. I got too much responsibility, my man. I don't like this.
Oh, sweet. Mine's my own. You can't get mine, suckers.
Anyone care about Overwatch?
Yes, all of us do.
Overwatch for the Switch. That's cool. I mean, I already have it on PS4, so
Yes.
I don't need it.
No.
Mobile
Although
Overwatch.
Mobile Overwatch is great.
That is
a
fantastic.
huge plus for Nintendo Switch fans.
That almost makes me want to get a Switch for Overwatch on the go.
Overwatch is great, guys. And my favorite thing is that it's your same account and characters across all consoles.
Yeah.
So you'll log into your Blizzard account, your same characters, your same costumes, so I can play my same people on the Switch. If I come home, I want to play with other friends who only are on the PS4. I can jump on my PS4. I'm still playing the same stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, it's great.
Oh yeah, they're also doing like a cross save thing for or something. It was an RPG that was released something 2. Divinity Sin.
Oh, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Thank you. That one.
That's PC.
Yeah,
crossover.
that's coming on the Switch, and they're
That's
doing
so cool, man.
Yeah, they're doing cross saves. But I want to say, besides the SNES news, and also they are selling a controller, which is only to Nintendo Switch Online members for $30.
Yeah.
So if you have the service, you're gonna get emailed.
That's a sweet ass controller. Right?
Yeah, it is
The
for
wireless one?
$30.
Yeah.
I want it so bad, but I don't need it. It's like the NES ones, the two controllers.
I'm just glad they're not charging like $70 effing dollars,
Well-
like the Joy-Cons and all
Well,
that.
the NES ones, you came with 2 of them. This
Oh,
one's
nice.
only one.
That's still
So
it's still not
essentially-
$60.
Essentially, it's $30 a controller.
Yeah, that's fine.
essentially, which is great. What was I gonna say? One of the biggest news besides Banjo-Kazooie coming out that same day, because I remember when Banjo was announced back at E3 in June, they said winter. So I thought, it's gonna be a while.
I'm pretty sure it's still 100 degrees here, so it's not winter.
But they released it on that. What was it, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, one of
Wednesday.
those days.
Yeah, they released Banjo-Kazooie on that Wednesday. They revealed a new fighter, Terry Beauregard from Fatal Fury, which is a Neo Geo SNK game. And the
He's a
one
cool
that
guy.
broke in my mind broke my freaking internet. There's gonna be more.
Well,
More
of course there is.
characters.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
What the shit?
Of course there were going to be more.
I thought they were gonna do 5, and that was it.
Nah,
Oh,
dog.
baby.
I don't think you can play enough fighting games. Man.
Yeah. Standard fighting games always have more than one season of fighting.
Especially in the modern era, there's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur only had 1.
Soul Calibur's a little older now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Fighters, multiple seasons.
Oh my god,
of
dude!
Yeah.
There's like 30 characters.
Yeah, but
in
they
Fighter.
release about like Mortal Kombat. There's 5 or 6 characters, right?
Pack 1, yeah.
in Pack 1, but the point is that there's going to be more packs.
yeah.
Ben, this is a thing in fighting games. There are always more packs. Of course there were going to be more for Smash. Smash is such a smash hit, if you'll excuse me.
Yes.
Well, apparently I am ignorant,
Get
and
out.
I don't.
No, it's cool, dog.
All right.
Apparently,
It's only a good thing knowing more
I
characters.
only knew that they were going to have 5 DLC characters because that's what they did for Smash, Wii U, and 3DS.
I wasn't shocked
Yeah.
when they said
I
that.
was.
No, I mean,
I was
didn't,
happy.
I didn't know that there would be a second pack, but once Smash was doing the numbers on the Switch that it was, I was like, there's going to be a second pack.
They wanna
Of
keep this game
course
going,
there's going
yeah.
to be a second pack. Well, because the whole thing is I don't think they'll release another Smash game for a long time. They'll just
Years.
add things to this one. They
Yeah,
have no
this is
reason
the-
to
this
make
is
a
the
new
big
game.
one.
There's a reason why the subtitle for this game is Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to make a new one until,
No.
frankly, until they make a new console.
Exactly.
Years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would like for a new Mario Kart 9, but that's just me.
And-
I mean, Mario Kart 8 already is fine.
The funny thing is they're actually re-releasing Mario Kart 8 again with like a super Game of the Year edition with all the stuff again because they've already re-released it once.
Yeah.
And it's coming back.
No,
out
they
again.
released it. They re-released it twice.
Because it was on the Wii U.
It was.
right?
It
Yeah,
originally came out on the Wii U,
the third
and then it
re-release.
came out. It was a launch. It was like a 2-month later launch
Yeah.
title for the Switch,
Wow.
and now they're doing it again.
Guys,
man.
they don't know how to make Mario Kart new.
People still buy it though.
It is. It's what else on Nintendo that they talked about? Well, I mean, for me, Trials of Mana.
I have the list. So.
Oh, sorry, Brandon.
Well, I don't think I have that. What is that?
It's Trials. They had a trailer for Trials of Mana, which is a remake of a Mana game that was never released in the United States. The original Japanese version is translated and everything is available in the collection of Mana. There's a physical release and a download thing for Nintendo. I actually almost bought that instead of Fire Emblem on a Saturday, but I went with Fire Emblem.
Emblems.
Yeah,
But you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, what's the Mana with you?
Damn. No secret there.
Oh, damn! I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a motto?
Yeah. Yeah, but that one is the original 16-bit version for that you would have played on a Super Nintendo. This one is completely HD, voice acted. You can jump in this game, so it's for me, my RPG heart is screaming with joy.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to Trials of Mana, and also it's coming out next April, so I have a long time to go to play it.
Yeah, you do.
What is Deadly Premonition 2?
It's a sequel to Deadly Premonition 1.
Well,
Yeah,
I know that.
Deadly Premonition is only a game I'm aware of because it's a Japanese Twin Peaks game.
Oh, wow.
Literally, it is directly inspired by Twin Peaks. It's about a murder in a small town, and you're an FBI agent who goes to investigate. It's super crazy, super weird. The fact that it's getting a sequel is mind-blowing because that is a cult classic if I've ever seen one, and the original
was released that day.
It was released that day, yeah.
For the Switch.
It's amazing.
I guess they're also going to release Doom 64.
Yep, that one, I mean, okay, cool.
It's not the best game, to be honest.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
And Jedi Academy, which is
so
even better.
happy.
I didn't hear about Jedi Academy.
Those
I-
both-
Yes, both.
Those are maybe the best legacy Star Wars games.
Yeah,
for real.
Ben doesn't read when I type.
Jedi Knight, Jedi
No,
Academy.
I believed you, but when I was watching the direct, it only talked about Jedi Outcast.
I got you.
All right, but
Jedi
I'm
Academy's
happy
about
that-
Luke Skywalker reopening a temple, and you're his Padawan.
yeah, no, but both of those games I'm excited for because you're right, as you said, they're legacy games and they're no longer canon in the Star Wars universe. So those coming to the Switch, and they were Xbox
But they're
exclusive.
canon in your heart.
In-
Just like,
exactly.
just like Ken said, the emotional canon.
Mhm.
True that.
Very true.
E-canon.
But one of the big thing is because both of those games were Xbox exclusives,
I played the hell out of it.
and now because I remember some time ago, right, I was talking about how Nintendo and Xbox or Microsoft are getting very buddy with each other.
Microsoft's just
I
like
wonder-
having sex with everyone
I
it
wonder
wants
if
to. It's
another
awesome.
Xbox Star Wars exclusive might become part of Switch, like
Old Republic.
Republic Commando.
Oh, Republic
Listen,
Commando.
if they definitely did Jedi Outcast 2 and Jedi Academy, they will absolutely do.
Brandon will buy a Switch that moment.
The second
Republic
Jedi
Commando
Republic
is
Commando
dope.
comes
That game
out.
is so
good.
dope.
So good.
I could see Brandon screeching out of his garage, driving to this
I'm
nearest
telling you
store
right now,
to buy a
if this-
Switch and a Republic Commando.
I'm telling you right now, if Republic Commando comes to Switch, we're letting Brandon do a basement arcade.
Oh, hell
of
yeah.
Republic
Hells
Commando.
yeah. I wouldn't
so good.
allow it if he wasn't able to do it. I was like, no, Brandon has to be
That-
here for Republic Commando.
That game is so good. I think I still have it for the Xbox.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
What
Witcher
else?
3 is coming also.
The thing is, it's incredible that they put that huge-ass game on the Switch. From everything I've heard, don't play that game on the Switch if you don't have to, because it is graphically degraded so much.
I
much.
I have it on my PS4. It's waiting
Yeah.
for me to go. I bought it on sale, so I'm.
If it's the only way to play it, that's awesome. Having
Yeah.
a portable, which is great.
yeah.
It's a huge game, so it's going to look bad.
Oh, I know how big it is.
It's going to look bad.
But I'm fine with just
Anything-
playing on my PS4.
Anything else you guys were super excited for?
Animal Crossing looks incredible.
It
I'm
does-
super excited for that. Pokemon Stars and Garters. what's it called?
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
There you go.
That one's coming out.
Pokemon Stars and Garters.
That's like 10 years down the line.
Hell yeah.
That's like the Canadian
No,
off-brand.
there's the region of it's like the Sodar region, and it's based on southern United States.
I reckon.
Oh man.
Return of the Obra Dinn is a really cool indie game that's got a lot of acclaim.
That's all monochrome. That actually looks pretty trippy.
Luigi Mansion 3.
That looks cool.
I'm interested in it, but I'm not like
I'm
loving it.
not big.
What's this Super Kirby Clash?
We talked
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
that's the mobile game that I played for a hot second and said no.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, so there's some cool stuff coming.
Heck yeah, dude.
Oh, lot. So I guess the showstoppers.
Oh, the biggest game that we didn't talk about, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics 2020.
Oh, yeah. I was going to bring that up.
Just kidding.
You know what?
guys.
That game looks good. And once again, good on Nintendo for bringing back more of the retro stuff because there's a bunch of like 10 events in that game that are all the original retro sprites.
To be fair, I've only heard good things about those games.
Also, just real quick, in tandem with the Nintendo, when we were talking about the Star Wars games, those Star Wars games coming to Switch are also coming to the PS4. Just to be clear.
Oh,
they
they
are?
are coming to the PS4
Oh,
as
cool.
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Lucasfilm
Awesome.
announced that just after the Nintendo Direct.
Oh,
Got it.
okay.
That's amazing.
Okay, that's even better. Sweet.
That's cool.
But I'm honestly kind of more excited to have it on the Switch. I'm not going to lie.
But
There's something about playing these older games that they're bringing back that's more fun to do on the Switch than the
Yeah.
PS4 for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel that.
To go back to Mario and Sonic, I've actually heard those Olympic games are really good because before
So
the
that.
Olympic games were kind of like, they're kind of borderline not the greatest. And now, ever since they start, Nintendo and Sega has been doing this.
They put Mario in it.
Well, yeah, they put Mario and Sonic in it because it's not like, which country do you want to play as? It's like, hey, play as Mario and Sonic, and you're in the X games.
Ben called me when they make a Hanna-Barbera Olympics game.
Did they?
Well, there's a
No, call
TV
him.
series.
Oh, okay.
There's a small little TV bits shorts that did the Winter Olympics
I
games.
want a
that's
wacky
cool.
racers video game.
It's really weird.
All right.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, so some quick news. Let's start here. Crisis on Infinite Earths has cast another hero from Legends of Tomorrow.
Another one?
Jonathan Shaich is reprising his role as Jonah Hex for Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, cool. Lord of the Rings cast Will Poulter.
That's Swamp Thing Man, isn't it?
No,
Oh, just kidding.
it's the guy from Where the Millers, the kid.
Oh, just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Maze Runner.
Got it.
Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Was
He's
he
good.
also in Bandersnatch?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's been slowly making his way up in the
That's good.
in the world.
He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's no longer the dweeby kid. Now he's the douchebag.
Yep, real upgrade.
But yeah, he's
got one of those faces.
Yeah,
I
he
feel for
does.
him, but he's got one of those
He's-
faces that they like to use
those
for that
punch-
kind of character.
You mean those punchable faces?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kind like
Yeah.
Bowers from It. He's got
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. So
Less
he,
mullet.
we don't know who he's playing, but he is cast in the Lord of the Rings TV series.
Awesome.
Good for
So
him.
it'd be cool. And finally, on casting, Mission Impossible 7. Sorry, I'm going to say how this happened because it was so cool. Christopher McQuarrie tweeted a picture of Haley Atwell on the folder of the Impossible Mission Force folder, and he said, Haley Atwell, should your mission, should you choose to accept it? And Haley Atwell posted the same picture as a mission accepted. I'm so excited, guys. Haley
All right.
Atwell will be in Mission Impossible 7.
That's a good way to announce a casting.
So glad she's getting something big
For
that isn't
real.
MCU related.
Me
Oh,
too.
man.
Poor
She's probably
girl
gonna,
deserves
she's probably
it.
going to kick ass, too, man.
She
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Somewhere at Disney, they're going, all right, maybe we bring back an Agent show, guys.
Let's think about it.
Hey, so Brandon, before the movie comes out, strap me down and force me down for a Mission Impossible marathon.
Oh, force him down.
Ooh, all right.
4 through
Wow, this is a
current.
kinky Mission Impossible.
Not
viewing.
like that.
I'll just. Okay, I mean,
You got to
sure, if you-
rewatch 3, buddy.
Okay, I'll rewatch 3.
It's a good one.
It's important.
Yeah.
Do I need to watch 1 because I've never seen 1?
No.
Yes.
Yes. I think you should.
I
I
think
think if we're doing
one
this,
is
you
good.
should watch 1.
Should I watch 2
No, it
again?
is
or
good. No, it is
No,
good.
you
Or
don't
can we
need
skip
to.
2?
You can skip 2.
Okay.
You can always skip 2.
So far, there is nothing from 2 that has come back.
Okay.
Nor do I think there ever will be.
Watch there will be. It becomes the Thor the Dark World of Mission Impossible.
Oh, no.
Like for the Endgame movie. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been seeing Haley Atwell in a lot of bits parts. She played the teacher in that one movie done by the girl who did Pride and Prejudice shit with the Indian guy. Blinded by the Light.
Blinded.
It's awesome.
Yeah, she was the teacher in that one. I just found out she was in an episode of not Twin Peaks.
I would remember that.
What was that show? Dark Mirror with Domhnall Gleeson.
Oh, yeah.
I found out about that because I was
She was
looking-
Cinderella's mom once.
She was Cinderella's mom once. I love Haley Atwell. I love when I see her. By the way,
Same.
I was looking. I found that out because I was looking up trailers for Serenity, the Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway film from this year.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh.
I didn't know what that movie was about until I was listening to How Did This Get Made,
Mm-hmm.
and now I know what that movie's about. And I'm like, what the ever loving shit.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Me too. I'm like deathly curious. I'm like,
Do you know what? Tell me off air because I want to know what's about.
yeah, I
If
don't-
it's on How Did This Get Made, it's entertaining enough to watch.
All right.
yeah, it's wow. Do you guys know what? So Ryan,
I'm-
you know.
I was
aware.
figuring it was about
Vaguely,
about a Firefly class spaceship with.
Nope. Nope.
No,
Take my love, take
no.
my land.
So yeah. So,
Though kind of weird that breaks the movie title rule for some reason.
yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know why that got to have that movie title. But anyway.
It's just a word.
No, I know, but usually like there's a whole thing
like the Butler was
within
had
a
to
certain
be-
amount of years.
The Butler needed to be retitled. Lee Daniels, the Butler.
Oh, that's true.
like
Yeah, yeah.
and also The Last Airbender going to be called Avatar: The Last Airbender
True
because
that.
of James Cameron.
True that.
yeah. So Haley Atwell in Mission Impossible 7.
Man,
very excited.
Real
Very
quick,
excited.
like Christopher McQuarrie is just like, so he made like the last 2 Mission Impossible movies, right? He directed the last 2.
he
right?
directed the last 2, but
Yeah.
he wrote the last 3.
Okay, so after that last one, which was Fallout's last one, right? The movie's,
Yes.
movie's dope as hell. They're like, hey, Chris, just keep making them. Take all the money. Cast who you
And
want.
Even McQuarrie, like listening to Chris McQuarrie, he was like, "I don't want to do this anymore. I'm good. I'm done. No more Mission Impossible films. I didn't even want to come back for 6." And they signed on for 2 more.
Yeah, because like just like the love.
And he's like, I just can't stop.
The mission's always there.
Yeah. Haley, the only worry is Haley Atwell does kind of fill the same role that Elsa fills.
Yeah.
Faust.
Also Faust.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of wondering maybe Haley Atwell is Rebecca Ferguson's Henry Cavill from Fallout,
Yeah. Okay.
like the anti
Ooh, God.
Rebecca Ferguson.
talk sexy to me. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, right. That
Evil
kinda made
Haley
me-
Atwell. Haley Atwell.
I
I'd be into it.
love Haley Atwell.
I'll let her be a bad guy.
Hell yeah, right?
I'm into it.
All right. I love Haley Atwell.
Step on me, senpai.
I was literally about to say a step on me joke, but I was like, nah, that's probably we're a little too sensual right now.
Sorry.
I love it.
Sorry. I met...
That's when you meet her. That's Edelgard
Yeah.
in Three Houses. You see her like, step on me, senpai.
Please.
Nani?
No.
I met Haley Atwell once at a convention, and it was the most beautiful day of my life.
Oh.
All right, so
Speaking of beautiful.
Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Tomb Raider in the news for?
Okay, so Tomb Raider's in the news because it has a new director.
Oh.
Tomb Raider 2 is happening, and it has a release date, and the director is Ben Wheatley.
Me? No, wait, no. My last name's not Wheatley.
Ben Wheatley.
Ben Wheatley.
The actor?
The actor and director. He's the director of Fighting With My Family.
It's awesome.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Brian. With the second you said the actor, my brain went cut to Back to the Future.
I'm really happy Tomb Raider's getting another movie.
Yeah.
Me
So
too.
am I.
And Ben Wheatley is a super interesting choice. You guys will know him. Well, Ben, you'll probably readily know him from Portal 2. He's the guy who's the evil orb that follows you in Portal 2.
I've never played Portal 2.
I
have played Portal 2. I've only played the co-op of Portal
We're
2.
with you. I get you.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I
I
have no
gotcha.
idea where you've seen Ben Wheatley.
No,
Jojo Rabbit's trailer has Ben Wheatley in it.
Oh,
He's the tall, skinny white guy with the red hair.
Gotcha. All right.
He's in Good Boys.
That's true.
Ben Wheatley's in Good Boys.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of movies I haven't seen. Yeah, he's in Free Fire and High Rise.
Yeah. Free Fire. He's also the director in Free Fire.
Okay, cool.
God, Ben Wheatley was so good in Good Boys.
Good Boys. Yeah.
I still need to see that.
Yeah. Ben Wheatley. He's the director of Free Fire. Fighting With My Family.
Awesome.
But he's directing
He is
Tomb
going
Raider.
to direct Tomb
Tomb
Raider
Raider
2.
That is awesome because I felt like Tomb Raider deserved a sequel.
Me too. I'm
Even
really
though-
happy they're doing this.
I know people get that movie a little bit of shit, but I still really enjoy that movie.
It's a fine movie.
it stays true to the game, but doesn't
I wanted-
force feed the game down your throat.
I feel
If you-
much in the same way about Tomb Raider that I do about Warcraft.
the setup is there.
I'm
Oh,
more
yeah.
interested in its sequel than I am this movie.
Which is funny. You would think I would have seen
Because
more-
all the elements are there that you want to see more of.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I've seen Tomb Raider. I've never played. I've never played either Tomb Raider or Warcraft. But I wanted to see Warcraft the most, and I didn't see it. I was like kind of lukewarm.
You're
to
not missing out.
I disagree. I think Ben would get a lot of out
Do
out
you
of Warcraft.
know-
Half of that movie is really
the
good.
orc stuff is like truly
Everything
good.
in the orcs with the orcs is a really good movie.
And a good metaphor for, again, oppressed people.
Honestly, that's really good. Like Warcraft is not bad. It's just not as good as it could be.
Yeah.
Right. But Ben Wheatley is a really off-kilter choice.
He doesn't seem like an action guy.
This is not the kind of movie he normally does. So I'm
Except
kind
he
of
did Fighting With My Family.
Fighting With Family.
Is that the wrestling?
Yeah,
No.
with Florence Pugh.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Free Fire, which is the one with Brie Larson.
Right,
Coldplay.
okay. Okay, then yeah.
Armie
okay.
Hammer is in that one too. I like the movie.
Cool.
Yeah, so he's a really off-kilter choice. I'm super interested to see what this is kind of like a Taika Waititi doing Thor.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
this is what the equivalent, and I'm kind of into this.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Well, excuse the pun, but hopefully they'll catch lightning in the bottle with this one.
Amy Jump has already been attached to screenwriter, and she is actually Ben Wheatley's wife.
For Tomb Raider?
Cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
she was already attached to write the script for Tomb Raider.
Cool.
She's a scriptwriter for a lot of his movies, Free Fire, Fighting With My
A
Family.
working
Awesome.
relationship.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, that's really exciting. I'm super stoked for that.
Heck
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You wanted to bring up a couple things before we get into trailers, right, Sparkz?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I am a huge fan of Orphan Black. I'd really like for everyone else to become a huge fan of Orphan Black at some point, but I'm a fantastically huge fan of that show. That show ended at 5 seasons. It was really great. They just announced this week that hold on, I'm going to pull up the date. So Serial Box is releasing an audio drama on excuse me. Oh, where's the date?
He is looking for the date. He had it, and then his phone decided to
On
crap.
September 12th, Orphan Black, The Next Chapter, narrated entirely by Tatiana Maslany, who's the main actress, and if you know anything about the show, she plays clones of herself throughout the entire show. So she plays several different characters, all played by her, so they're doing that with an audio drama, which I'm super interested in how that's going to work, because you won't have the visual cues, but you'll be hearing that voice through those different characters and how well she'll be. I have faith in her. She did an excellent job differentiating those characters, so I bet she can do it here too.
She's in Three Below.
Yeah. So right now, if you pre-order it, you can get it for a lower price of $10 if anybody's interested. I'm absolutely doing this because I'm a huge fan, and I'm super excited that they're doing this audio drama with her coming back. Awesome. Very excited. So if you're an Orphan Black fan, check it out.
Cool. Did you ever remember what the second thing was?
Yeah. Hey, are you a fan of Cowboy Bebop? Yeah, you like Cowboy Bebop?
I watched a few
You like
episodes,
Cowboy
but
Bebop? Okay,
I would want to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, so on
I have
Netflix
seen
right
it.
now, Carol and Tuesday is the new anime by the director of the creator of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, cool.
And apparently it's very, very good.
Ooh.
So I just wanted to share the news that dropped this week, and it's been a big deal being talked about in the anime community.
Man.
I have not watched it myself, but
gotta watch it.
it's part one of a 2-part thing, and all of part
Oh,
one is out. No, like part one is multiple episodes,
Oh, okay.
but it's only the first half of the story.
Okay.
Okay.
I
That's how
got
Netflix
news.
is releasing
Oh,
it.
I just think it's cool because I like her. Charlize Theron is going to be in Fast 9 as Cypher again. She posted a
Of course.
picture that she's
Oh,
back.
yeah.
I'm like,
That's awesome.
That's cool. That it's just
I figured she was coming back.
They announced it a while back that she was returning, but I do like the picture and
she has
everything.
a cool
I'm
new
like, yes.
haircut.
Yes.
Also, I like how
no
they-
more dreads.
I'm
I-
pretty sure they said that she's back for 9 and 10.
Just super quick. Do you think they're going to tie in the Hobbs and Shaw
not in this
organization?
movie. Not in this movie.
Okay.
I don't see why.
Because
I
she's a
don't
tech
know.
lady.
But I don't know because Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson's pretty like this is my new spin-off franchise.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe
maybe.
I could see it.
all right.
All right. So we,
Still, what we don't know is we still don't. No one has said if Dwayne Johnson is in 9, right?
he's not in 9 for sure.
I think
Right.
yeah, he's not in 9 for sure.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's in 10 or not.
10's the big boy. 10's.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he wants.
What
to
if they
be
just call it
anymore.
Fast X?
I don't think that's so much what it is. I think it's anyway.
Fast X.
We don't need to get into it.
All right, moving on to some trailers. Let's do it.
T-Talk.
Let's do it this way. Bad Boys for Life.
What
Released
you gonna
trailer.
do?
This is the third Bad Boys film, not directed by Michael Bay this time.
No,
I don't know who's directed by. Actually,
I
I
don't
agree
know.
with you
I'm
that
gonna
I
look
think
it
the
up.
title "Bad Boys for Life," eliminating the 4 from it is
You can't now. You can't make a
Unfortunate.
4th movie
Yeah.
called it Bad Boys for Life. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But
just
this
when you
movie-
hear
bad-
it sounds like it
hold
should
on.
be the 4th.
Bad Boys Forever.
Actually, Brandon, it's pretty good. I'll allow it. All right.
They should change the title of this one to say "Bad Boys for Life," but change the E in life to a 3.
Oh, okay.
I really don't want them to do that.
yeah.
So this is the new Bad Boys. I've not seen any of the Bad Boys films.
They are fun, good action movies. They are not Michael Bay's worst works.
I've seen parts of 2. I want to say. I'm pretty sure it was on Stars one time. I was
It
flipping
has
through
been
channels.
a very long time.
I mean, all I know is that recently a lot of video SAS have been talking about how homophobic they were and whatever.
Sure.
That again, I have not watched them in a while. That's definitely probably true because it's a Michael Bay movie,
Uh-huh.
and he is.
Yeah.
Every movie is homophobic and sexist.
It's true.
That being said, the action is good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good that he's not directing this new one.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be interesting to see. I should probably watch it.
Also, they used the theme song from Cops, which is fun.
Yes, they have done that.
And
Oh,
I
wait.
know.
I think didn't Cops.
I think Cops might have taken it from
Really?
the
'Cause I
movie
thought-
using it first. I think the movie probably used it first.
It was
thought
around
it
the
was-
same time.
I don't know this for sure. I'm just saying.
They're both '90s things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think Martin Lawrence has it anymore.
I don't think
No,
so.
I
yeah,
just
either.
I want him to have it.
I want him
That's-
to. I agree
yeah.
with you. I want him to have it. I
There
don't
was a
think
c-
he has
See,
it.
I think that's kind of the almost like the point of the movie is like he's like the old man cop, and he's like, I literally can't do this anymore. I'm fat
He's,
and I fall out of the car.
No,
Like, that's
he's
kind of
Donald.
shtick.
He's Donald Glover in Lethal Weapon. I'm
Yeah.
too old for this shit.
Yeah. And Will Smith looks charming, and after seeing him in Aladdin, I'm like, I can
mean,
use more Will Smith.
I
Yeah,
love
hell
Will
yeah.
Smith, and I'll watch this for Will Smith. But I definitely I'm just watching Martin Lawrence, and I'm kind of feeling like I don't know that you got this anymore, man.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like it's just a character. It's like I
Yeah.
don't.
No,
I
I
don't know
feel
that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
with
for you. I get a kind of sad feeling for him, and I don't want to feel
Aw.
sad for him throughout the movie.
I hope this movie proves us wrong.
Yeah.
I was expecting to completely hate whatever this is, and I'm like, this just looks like a fun action movie.
It
Whatever,
does.
man.
So last week we totally forgot to talk about it, but the last week the trailer for Uzumaki dropped, and this is the
I'm
adaptation.
so
It's-
happy.
It's a 4-part miniseries anime adaptation going to be airing on Toonami in the States of
I love you, Toonami.
of a manga where people are dying. It's a horror novel.
An entire town is killed by a shape
the shape of a spiral.
in different ways.
And it
It's-
looks super cool
If I may, Brandon, insert Gurren Lagann joke here. Okay, that's it.
There you go.
because of the spiral and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
the anti-spiral.
And the spirals were right.
Um,
If you know Gurren Lagann, you know why I said that.
Boy. If Gurren Lagann were preventing this, that'd be a very different show.
there's a lot of really cool horrific imagery coming
This
from the
manga
books.
is incredible. It's by Junji Ito, who is pretty much the most famous mangakun for making
Spooky shit.
horror imagery, and he's essentially like manga H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
like
a good way of saying
with the
it.
way he tells his stories. There's a lot of things in there that are just like They're horrifying to think about. They're horrifying on
the body
basic level
imagery
concepts.
is nightmarish.
The imagery is nightmarish, but just like the concept of like why, and you never get an answer as to why. There is no explanation.
Good.
There are no answers usually in Junji Ito stories. It's just like, this is happening, and isn't it terrifying? And that it is horrific.
Like the ending shot of the trailer with the face in the tornado or in
Boy,
the sky.
tip of the
I know,
tip of the iceberg.
I figured it was tip of the iceberg, but I'm looking at that going, damn, I don't like that.
Yeah,
as not in like a. I hate it. It was like
the image that really stuck with me is the one with the spiral have dug into
the head.
Oh yeah, that was messed up.
I could tell you from the manga what the most horrifying image for me is, but I don't want to spoil.
No,
it
don't,
because it wasn't in this trailer, and I'm pretty sure I know why.
Sparkz, I was actually able to go to sleep last night pleasantly. I want to do that again tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck getting through this one, my friend. This is an excellent piece, and my favorite thing about it, very well maybe.
God damn it, Ryan.
Yeah,
I'm just picking up random image. Any random image will F
Junji
you
Ito
up.
has a whole lot of excellent pieces, but Uzumaki is considered one of his most masterful works.
Oh, this one's moving. Oh, this is
yeah.
It looks
Yo, guys,
it
nightmare.
It looks like a bit of like a motion comic.
A little bit.
Yeah.
What I think the final style is going to be is they really wanted to. The thing that's so evocative about Junji Ito's stories is both like the concepts are scary, but like his imagery is so good, and so creepy and uncomfortable, and so they didn't want to miss any of that. So it looks like they've completely brought the manga to life, and that's really, really awesome.
Looking at the trailer, it looks like they traced from the manga. I've never seen the manga before, but
it looks straight up like the pages are coming alive.
Yeah, just like the monochrome, because we all know manga is in black and white,
right?
And just looking at this, like this looks, I kind of want to go to like Barnes & Noble and pick up a book and like flip through. It's like, oh shit, this is the trailer I saw earlier today.
I think black and white is actually a really great choice because I'm picturing it like if they did try to color Junji Ito's art, I think like having the colors would kind of it could potentially take away from just what the image is itself, and I think actually leaving it black and white leaves a lot of the detail to make you uncomfortable. It almost leaves still a piece of it to your imagination, even though he's showing you something. You imagine what the colors would be rather than seeing them, and that almost makes it worse. I really like this trailer. I really love the music. It feels like, I've told other people this, it feels like a trailer from A24 Studios, who have done Ari Aster's Hereditary, Midsommar. It feels like that exact kind of vibe. Yeah, The Lighthouse. It feels like that kind of vibe, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe I want for it. So I'm super into this. Michael Carl's Downright Nerdy. I think you'd enjoy this. Riley cannot watch this.
Too spooky.
Let Riley see this ever.
I was talking to Michael on Instagram, and he was like, "Hey, where's your plans this week?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see it tonight." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna see it alone. Riley won't go with me." I'm like,
Yeah. I know Riley doesn't like horror stuff, so keep her far, far away from this, my friend.
Well, speaking of horror stuff, Gretel and Hansel.
Oh yeah.
This is the adaptation of the Hansel and Gretel.
I had no interest in this till I saw this trailer, and now I'm 100%
and
interested in this.
This is Sophia Lillis, who is the Bev from It Chapter 1, and Nancy Drew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I did not recognize her in this trailer.
And It Chapter 2.
And It Chapter 2.
This is directed by Oz Perkins, who is the son of Anthony Perkins, who is Psycho, who is Norman Bates in Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He started off, he was like in things like Legally Blonde, and he was like a bit actor, and then he made The Black Coat's Daughter, which is a really spooky horror movie, and he found his niche, and now he's just like, I love making spooky shit like my dad did. I think it's awesome.
Okay.
I got, speaking of Ari Aster, I got some Ari Aster vibes from this trailer.
I did too. What I actually kind of dig, it like I saw the witch, and it's like the classic image of a witch with like the pointy hat, the
like
cloak.
from the Wizard of Oz almost.
Yeah. But I could tell it was like more sinister, and I really, really dig it. Like that part of the trailer where she was like pulling the hair out of her mouth.
It's really grimy, yeah.
I like, for some, like you guys know me, I love magic, but like this is old horror-ish magic.
Yeah, you gotta put a bunch of shit in a pot.
Yeah, I really dig it, and I'm like, I kind of want to see this movie.
This is kind of billed as like the true story of what happened.
Yeah, I love it. The witch lady, I forget the actress's name, but like she's in a bunch of spooky stuff. Like she's in like the Nick Cage Wicker Man as like a spooky lady, and like she's really good at being scary.
Okay,
she's good at that. And yeah, I'm glad for good job, Bev, getting more movie roles.
Yeah, I am really sad that the Nancy Drew TV series is happening because I think she's the better Nancy Drew.
Oh. Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but hey, she's a great actress. I look forward to more from her career.
Yeah.
All right, so Dr. Sleep then, move from horror to horror. Another Stephen King. So Ben, what do you think about Dr. Sleep? You're a big fan.
No,
you read the book, right?
No.
seen The Shining?
Yes, I have seen The Shining.
Well,
I almost said no. I have seen.
I
The
was
Shining.
there with you. I
You were
believe.
there. You were there. Fanny was there. Megan was
You
there.
were
Sparkz
there.
was
But
there.
we all know.
I scratched it off the poster.
But we all know that it's not as good as the book, which
Shut
you've
up.
read.
True and dear to
Shut
your
up.
heart.
I hate both of you. No, I don't. I love you both. No, I actually dig this. I dig a lot.
Speaking of Rebecca Ferguson,
Yeah, evil shine vampire.
Yeah, that was. Ooh, that's,
I'm into it.
That's some cool shit. Also,
love glowing eyes.
Also, I don't know why, but I really enjoyed the soundtrack from The Shining.
Again, it's
And
my thing.
Once
that,
again,
that
it's
Star Wars does, where it
Yeah.
like redoes the music. It redid the Shining score.
and
Yeah.
like the first thing of The Shining I ever saw was from Ready Player One when they go into that level for the Jade Key, and then I see the movie with you guys. I'm like, I really dig the low baritone.
Ready Player One has a really great soundtrack. I just want to point out.
Thank you for that, Brandon.
I was listening to it earlier. I really like it.
No, I'm genuinely happy. Thank you so much for that.
I thought I said something nice about Ready Player One.
Hey,
Kinda.
Okay.
everything's allowed.
Well,
sometimes.
also it does have a good soundtrack. Shit, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like the low baritone, the
Yeah.
that
And the theme from The Shining, we talked about when we first saw the first trailer that they have to walk a really fine line of where do they take it from. It's not only a book adaptation of a sequel to a book, but it's also got to operate as a sequel to the movie for people who've never read the books. Like they got to walk that really fine line.
This makes me wonder about, because then we haven't read the book. Like, our worry was, is there going to be too much Shining? Oh, yeah, you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Is
yeah, I love it. It's
Okay.
it's a great book.
Is there a lot of Shining actually in it?
I'm sorry. Dr. Sleep is
Yes.
what you're talking about.
Yes.
Got you. Sorry. I thought we were talking about The Shining still.
Oh no, sorry, no, Dr. Sleep time.
No, Dr. Sleep I really want to read because I read The Shining and
Yeah.
I think it's excellent.
So I don't know
I
how
wanna
much
read it.
how much Shining is actually in that, but that was my scare. But I think the way that it's presented in this trailer makes me like, all right, it looks like for a story reason it makes sense, and it's not just doing it just to do it.
Yeah, and so we get more about the story. Apparently, there are these vampires who want this little girl who's
Shine
got
Pyres.
okay, who want this little girl who has like a really powerful shine, which basically telekinesis.
It's carry.
It's a little more than that.
It's kind
but-
of just like a superpowers. Yeah.
Which you see, if you've seen Dark Tower,
Yeah.
or Carrie.
or
Firestarter.
Lots of Stephen King things.
Firestarter.
Firestarter,
It's one of the things that connects all of his books together, and
The Shine's like the X gene. It could be any power.
yeah, and so so they're going after them, and Ian McGregor's character, who's the kid
He's
in the first
he's
film.
pulling an Obi-Wan and he's running away.
Yeah, and he's trying to like protect this little girl, and
Yo,
looks good.
hot take: Ewan McGregor with a full-on beard. He's really sexy with that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I think Ewan McGregor is very sexy in Revenge of the Sith.
hello there.
I think his beard, the beard he had in this one was a lot more bushier. Than,
Oh, that's like scraggly, like
that's
drunk
like
beard.
That's like Santa Claus beard.
Yeah.
And I dig it.
No, you can tell in Revenge of the Sith that he grooms that thing.
Yeah,
Spend some time on it.
I would be
snip,
totally.
snip.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's a fashion icon.
Yes, he is.
He's my
He
icon.
plucks his eyebrows.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Hello there.
All
Dr.
right.
Sleep looks really good.
Yes, it does.
Mike Flanagan, who did Haunting of Hill House, a great Netflix horror show. Like that dude knows how to do horror shit really well. He did Oculus as well with Karen Gillan. That movie's
Oh, I heard about
awesome.
that. That's the
I like
movie.
that movie.
That's
That
the movie
movie's
with the
awesome.
mirror, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I
that
heard
movie's
about that.
super good. Also, Katie Sackhoff is her mom. Yeah, so like I fully believe like, hey, you get to make a big budget horror movie. Also, it's a sequel to The Shining. Like that's pretty cool for Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
It's also pretty daunting, especially we're in a place where now a lot of Stephen King adaptations are getting good,
Yes.
and we're at a time there wasn't. So
R.I.P. Dark Tower.
yeah, and he's got to walk that line again of like, well, now I'm making what everyone's going to think is a sequel to one of the most famous movies of all time.
Was it Dark Tower 2017 or 2018?
Say
2017.
Boy.
Really? Wow.
I know. That's why I was confused.
All right. So really quick side tangent, Brandon, if you let me.
Can I say
Was
no?
it 2018?
Oh.
I'll allow
I'm
it.
not sure.
I'll allow it. Sure.
You gave me the power.
Yeah, you shouldn't have asked.
I know. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Sorry, Brandon. I love you. There was a World of Warcraft classic skit done by this one thing.
2017.
Yeah, I double checked it too.
Wow.
Sorry.
We've been
go
doing the
ahead, Ben.
podcast too long.
No, there's a World of Warcraft classic skit done by this sketch group where it was like The Shining, where this guy was stepped away from World of Warcraft, and then his girlfriend shows up to his house and on the chat meter says, "All work and no play makes Jack go AFK."
Ah,
And it was
that's
just
pretty good.
it was just like The Shining. I'm watching this, I'm like, holy shit, this is The Shining.
Brandon,
but World
do you
of
know what
Warcraft.
AFK means?
No.
Away from keyboard.
Got it.
Gamer lingo.
Yeah.
All right, and so move into our topic.
Moving in.
Birds of Prey Birds of Prey or the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn is the full title. Goddamn.
I remember you said you like long titles like 2 weeks ago about something. So you can't hate this title. You did.
You
I don't
did
know.
say
I
that.
don't remember what it was for, but you said, "Man, I love me a long title," and I'm like, I agree.
Oh.
The emancipation of Harley Quinn.
All right. Well, this is
The logo that they show at the end of the teaser, I really liked how it's the big words and then the little neon on that's just in the side.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I really like it.
It was a cool inclusion to this because I don't know what happened in your theater, but my theater did Joker, and then the thing played of the thing. And
We had
then,
Joker.
We did have Joker. I don't think it was the trailer right before, though.
So and then it did like the put away your phones, get your popcorn, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the movie starts with the theme song.
Yeah,
and
we
it
had that too.
ends up being Birds of Prey. That's really cool to do that.
It's very cute. It's very Warner Brothers is having fun with it, and I'm so glad because this is the way I want them to be doing things,
and
to be marketing and presenting themselves.
So the first time, the first look we had, I'm not really loving the tone of what they were going for.
It was barely a look.
And with this one, it's 40 seconds, so it's not really a trailer.
A lot of quick cuts.
A lot of quick cuts. We do get a sense of the tone they're going for a little bit more. So it's exactly the tone that I thought they were going for with the first look. And I was a little negative on it, but like the way they marketed really worked on me. This is kind of a case of like marketing. How you market something could work on someone, like change their mind on something. So I'm not totally sold on this. I kind of feel like I would have preferred a more classic interpretation of the Birds of Prey. But Ewan McGregor. I like Ewan
He
McGregor.
looks like he's having a good time.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead,
Hell yeah.
who I'm still so happy is in this.
Yeah,
She's Huntress, right?
Huntress, yeah.
It's so good.
And
I'm ready, baby.
Who's Black Canary again?
It's we're unfamiliar with her.
Okay.
She's not as famous.
Renee Montoya is a
Rosie Perez.
is middle-aged cop.
That's awesome. Rosie Perez is such a good actress.
I would have liked a younger, so we could get Kate.
I'm so ready. I'm sorry. I'm so ready for this.
Yeah, there's a lot they're doing here that I'm
just excited again for like after reading Maneaters. I'm so ready for it's a full female team just like F the Joker. He sucks.
Yeah.
I'm ready for all these characters.
I'm ready for Margot Robbie to have a good outing as Harley Quinn that isn't Suicide
Yes,
Squad.
thank you.
Yes.
Get rid of him.
Yes.
Get away from the clown.
I hope so.
I just want more.
Sad they didn't bring Oracle in.
I just want more good DC movies.
So
I don't
do
care
I.
what it is. Just
Sure.
and this for me, it's like all right, you gave me this and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Let's see if it succeeds.
They've got 2 in a row so far.
The slate has become unpredictable and bizarre in a way I enjoy. Like think back like 2 years what they were saying.
The
was gonna
dartboard
come out,
approach
and now
is
here we
kinda
are,
working now a little
and
bit.
we've got Todd Phillips' Joker, and then Birds of Prey coming out, and we had Shazam and Aquaman. And it's like I don't know, this is like kooky and a weird approach,
For
but
real,
I love it.
Like a year ago, I know a year ago we were like bashing like they're gonna make a Joker movie. That's so dumb. And doing the dartboard approach, and now Joker might be the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm like
to be
so
fair, like
funny.
when they were first talking about it, it was not clear it was an Elseworld story.
yeah, okay.
Once we knew it was Elseworlds, all of us were much more okay with it. It was that when they were originally talking about, they're saying they're doing a Joker origin movie, we were all like, please God, no.
Okay. Oh man, that Cyborg movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I kind of wished for a more traditional.
Yeah,
Harley
for sure.
Harley Quinn's never been a part of the Birds of Prey, so it's a little strange.
Yeah.
And it's not a Black Canary I particularly enjoy, but everything will be good.
I stand by what Ryan said. I just want good DC movies, and I'm starting to like F continuity. Just do whatever. Do something good, and that's all I care about at this point.
Yeah.
You're a multiverse anyway.
The problem with the dartboard approach initially that we saw was that they were just kind of like making whatever, trying to fit a mold, and now they're letting their directors take a little bit more creative license.
And I'll tell you right now, guys, just give up on the Flash movie if you can't figure it out. I'd rather
And
you
they're
just
still
wait
talking
and do
about
it.
it.
I'd rather you just wait and do it right. If you clearly can't get it together, just lose Ezra Miller and start from scratch.
Hey man,
Like years
Andy
later.
Muschietti apparently is doing it.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
know.
we will
see.
see how long that lasts.
Yeah, for real.
It's been so many years in development. I'm like, I'd rather just wait, guys.
Yeah.
Like, please don't force this.
Or just do that Flash Cyborg combo movie.
please just don't force it. I don't need you to force it.
That's what she said. Should we get into our main topic?
Yeah.
Only if we force it.
Oh.
It.
All right, then time now for our main topic. We are returning to Derry, Maine. Is this a horror audio tape now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Fun fact, real quick: if you guys saw Pet Sematary, which we did, there's a person driving to Derry in that movie.
Yes, there is.
Fun fact.
All right, so full spoilers from here on out for It, Chapter 2,
People die.
The Return of Pennywise. Spoilers, you've been warned. All right, what do we think about this? Ben, Stephen King expert.
How did I know you could go with me first?
You're the Stephen King expert.
No, I'm not.
Well, it's Ben. We made sure.
We haven't been lying for the past year.
You're
Ben.
the king of king.
Ben,
Wait, has it been 2 years?
since we made this joke,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's been a long time.
Shit, indeed.
That's awesome.
All right, Ben. What did you think? First thoughts. First thoughts.
First off, I enjoyed it. I thought it was decently scary. Maybe not as scary as the first one, but there's a lot more. I feel like there's more tense moments. But then, of course, there are things like there are also some jump scares that I saw from a mile away, like where the flashback scene of Ben in the locker where he's looking through. You see the creepy face. He's like, Pennywise is gonna be back there. He just freaking has to be in shock and awe. There he was. And yeah, I felt the length. I do feel like this was also pretty long. And I don't know if that was just me or maybe I don't know.
People have been over exaggerating, saying this is 3 hours. This is 2:45.
Yeah, it's 2:45, which is
not terribly short, but it's 2:45.
it's still long.
Shorter than two of the highest grossing films of all time.
Long for your standard horror film.
Yeah,
Very long for your standard horror movie.
I would definitely like for which is weird because I've been hearing people say like, well, Endgame was 3 hours. I'm like, yes, but I was engaged all those 3 hours.
It's also a sequel to 22 movies. So
Yeah, of course it had.
it's not a good comparison.
Yeah, whereas for It Chapter 2, I was like, yes, I get this movie's fine, but they could have made it a lot shorter than it was. But all in all, I didn't hate it.
Sparkz.
I really actually thoroughly enjoyed this film. I will say that I feel like it's less of a horror film than it is a character drama with horror elements in it. It's just less a true horror movie to me, but I still really enjoyed it. I have my qualms, but overall, pretty happy.
Ryan.
I think I might be the most negative on this table, which is a first, or not a first, but it's not usual. I quite liked it. I didn't have a problem with how long, or I did have a problem with how long it is because I noticed it. I don't mind movies being long. Just have all the scenes that are in there be important and worth it. And I felt there was a lot of scenes that can get cut out of this movie that would not change the movie whatsoever. And you can cut a good 30 minutes from this movie and it would still be as impactful and tight and have all the great character stuff that I love while getting rid of a lot of the bullshit that kind of gets in the way of it. I still very much enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, I don't think I liked it more than the first one. I watched the first one recently, about I think Monday or Tuesday. I rewatched it. That's a really good movie.
That first one is legitimately great.
And I don't think this one quite lives up to it.
No.
It certainly does try. And in some places I prefer it. In some places I don't. I hear a rumor that he's going to try and cut a full feature for the two of them.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, I agree with Sparkz though. It didn't really feel like a horror movie.
I really wasn't scared almost the entire time. Compared to the first one, I was not.
And let's just get into it. One of my qualms is that Pennywise is underutilized.
He's not in the movie very much until the end, and it kind of bums me out a lot.
He is not in it enough for me. He is the best part about both of these movies.
Yeah.
For me, he's a lot of fun to watch. When he is on screen, he is chewing up that scenery. He is having a ball. He's always a lot of fun to watch in the movie. But there wasn't enough of him. I wanted more of him.
You know what? I didn't know that was a qualm I had until you said it. Because the first movie, almost every other scene had Pennywise in it.
And you don't know when he's going to show up.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I was like, where's Pennywise? What's going on with Pennywise? He's there. I know he's there. And then it just was like, okay.
Yeah, here in this one, in the first one, one of the things I love about the first one is that he could show up at any time, anywhere. Yeah. And you don't know when and where. Here, especially in the middle when they're split up, finding their tokens, you know exactly the beats of these moments, and it does take away from the horror element of those. Yeah. However, Stephen King has a cameo in those, and I thought that was delightful.
That was really cool.
I think his cameo is great. They made that joke that he can't finish an ending 4 times in this movie, and the 4th time, I was over it.
Yeah,
I was over it.
I was starting to worry, are they prepping us for something?
So that whole...
It's a Stephen King joke, and then he has himself make the joke that he can't finish endings, and then the very end, I guess you could finish an ending at the end of this movie, huh? I get it. So my big problem with this movie, it felt so much more commercial than that first one did. That first one felt much more tight. I felt the interpersonal connection between all the characters so much more, and I did... not a lot of research, but I watched a bunch of videos and people talking about the original miniseries and the book. And the fundamental problem for me in this second part is that The chemistry between the adults, they're all incredible actors. It is not the same as with those kids. They do not have the same chemistry as those kids.
No, they do not. I saw
And
it.
they are split up so much that
God.
any chemistry that they did have, it kind of goes away for me.
But when they're together, like the Chinese scene,
that is
a
the
really
best
good
scene.
sequence.
Yeah.
I do feel that the adults have chemistry. I feel a chemistry with the adults. It just doesn't feel like it's the same chemistry as those kids had.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to replicate when you're doing this type of film. I understand, but it is clear to me why. What my other biggest qualm with it is it's clear to me why the flashbacks are there. Don't think you need them. I thought the point of splitting this book into two, is so that you didn't need to do the flashback sequences in the second movie.
There was a lot of rehashing for things that we didn't necessarily need.
Yeah, especially like the sequences that are just from the first movie. I'm like, okay, I've seen this. Can we move on?
I also think I'm going to get all my negatives out of the way. I think Bowers could be completely removed from this movie, and nothing would change. Nothing would change. That is 15, 20 minutes of him just being an asshole just because he was in the first movie. They could have cut all that out. The movie would have been the same.
And it's in the book, too.
I know it's in the book, but...
No, I'm just saying, that's why they feel the need to include it.
His zombie friend was real cool.
He was cool, yeah. Speaking of that, I think there's an over-reliance on CGI in this movie that was unnecessary for a lot of reasons. I don't think there's the bugs that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Pretty much every monster person, it's all weird CGI faces.
The fortune cookie scene? That was creepy.
Yeah, yes. But it was unnecessary.
Yeah, that was. Oh, another one of my biggest qualms. This is the second time Warner Brothers gave the shaft to Andy Bean, and I am pissed off about it.
Oh, that's not anyone's fault.
That's not the fault of the film.
I know.
Which one's Andy Bean?
Stanley.
He kills himself right in the beginning of the movie.
That's the book.
That's the book.
That's the story. They're not giving him the
none
shaft.
of my problems are with things that are from the book. It's just like, for this movie, when you make that first movie, you have to make a sequel to that movie. Mm-hmm. But they're incorporating so much stuff from the book that wasn't in the first movie. So they're adding all this stuff and getting into all the ritual stuff and adding all this mythology that the first movie was very grounded, and Pennywise was this threat that you didn't know anything about. And then you might introduce, hey, I've done all this research for 27 years, and here's this ancient Native American ritual. And I know it's the book.
No, I know, but
it doesn't feel...
Sparkz, you go.
Well, I get what you're saying, but the thing is, they can't know that stuff till they're adults.
No, I know.
So I don't know how...
I don't think...
they still needed to introduce it.
Yes, and also... it's the same problem with the TV miniseries. The second half is not as good as the first half because the storytelling choices in the book allow that's just how it is. And I just don't think adapting it as directly is maybe the best thing for this almost 3-hour long movie. It doesn't need to have all this stuff.
In the book, I was doing some research on the book because I was waiting until after I saw the second movie to do so because I didn't want to spoil myself.
Yes.
But I guess in the book, the kids. Like, Bill is the one who finds out about the ritual of Chud when he's a kid.
Also, his wife is not a character in this movie at all, and she's a big character.
So when they do the ritual, now from our review with Matt Ferrante from last time when we did Chapter 1, and from all the reviews I heard, I expected this movie fully prepared, fully ready to see this movie get weird.
Yes.
I expected a very strange, weird ending, even knowing what the book is ending is, having read it. I expected that. I expected weirder, and I'm not necessarily disappointed in that it didn't get weird. That's a harsh thing to say.
A little bit.
But I expected it to get much weirder than it actually did. I wanted that ending to get batshit, and to me, it just kind of kept going and then stopping.
Yes.
And it kind of frustrated me a little bit.
And again, I have a lot of positives, but I do want to get the negative things out of the way. I do think that final battle is cool and interesting, but again, all of them get separated again at a point, and it just feels like it's meandering for a bit. And I'm like, this movie's already long, and this battle's going for a long time.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to end.
Yeah, a little bit.
All the stuff that I truly love about this movie is the characters overcoming their childhood traumas. That is the core of the movie, and that is the best part of the movie, having all these people become better versions of themselves. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I needed more Pennywise, really.
Pennywise's kill count is only 3 in this movie.
Okay, so I do want to touch on that. So that one of my things is I don't agree that I think that the flashbacks to when they're kids, when they're looking for their totems, I think that's pretty relevant. I think those could have stayed.
To help overcome their traumas.
What I didn't need is when they come back to modern day, they also have another encounter with Pennywise.
Sure.
I didn't need all of those because for me, it doesn't mean much. I understand that, like, it's in the books too. I understand that him encountering them again while it's in modern day. It's even themed in a sense to the idea that they're trying to run from him. Every single scare that happens to them in modern day, with the exception of Bill's, is them being chased. Mm-hmm. And there's a point to that because they're trying to run from their fear when they have to face it. That's the thematic point. But what I would have sacrificed is I would have given up all the modern day encounters with Pennywise because I don't feel any stakes to them. I know none of them are going to be killed by Pennywise. It just feels kind of superfluous. I don't even know what his goal is in the moment because, yeah, he's scaring them, but it doesn't feel, the connection isn't quite what I want it to be. I would have sacrificed all of the modern moments but kept the kid flashbacks. And in place of those modern moments, what I would have had is Pennywise killing kids in the modern day. I needed more of that because that's the stakes. It's not, yes, this is a personal battle with them, but it doesn't become so personal till the very end. Yeah. It's about the fact that they're trying to prevent him from killing all the kids.
Also, I think the marketing might have been a big problem because it showed us both those moments in the trailer. It showed us both kids who get killed are all both in the trailer, so there's no surprise of, oh, is he going to kill any kids? We know exactly what he's going to do. Mm-hmm. And like that entire mirror sequence is amazing. And we saw most of it in the trailer.
We did.
I'm in some ways glad that they stayed away from recreating the shower scene from the miniseries because I don't think you could have done that better. Yeah. So the fact that they kind of sidestepped it, turned it into something else, but referenced the voices coming from the drain was cool. I'm happy with that. I like the Funhouse sequence. I like the Firefly sequence. I think both of those sequences are great. I wish there had been more of a sense of Pennywise killing kids in the present, because that should be the thing that's driving them. That should be the stakes.
Yeah. When they go to his lair, there's no kids floating like there was in the first film. Right. So there's no sense that he's taken anybody.
There's dead bodies, but they're going to a lair beyond where they went before.
Well, also a big thing in the first film was a lot of kids were missing. There was that one girl who was missing, and then more kids show. You see missing posters all over town. Yeah, and this one you maybe see one on the side of a newspaper stand where it's the girl with the mark on her face who disappeared after she got her face bit off.
When Mike's like calling them and stuff, like you see a shot of the town where all the missing posters are on a wall. Yeah, but you don't see any of those kids or what happened. You just see the missing posters, right? And it's one shot.
Yeah, and I wish that there had been more of a sense of them running against this clock of him doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. That's the big thing I would personally change. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I don't have a lot of issues. It doesn't feel long to me. I know it's long. I know there are unnecessary scenes, but I didn't feel like, oh, this is taking forever. I didn't feel that. Mm-hmm. I think that the adult cast is really good. I do buy into their chemistry if I accept that the kids are them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If I 100% can give in to the illusion of these are the same people, then the chemistry tracks. If I just isolate the adult performances from the kid performances, then it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But if I can give into the illusion, then it works. And I think that's part of the trick of it. I think that all the adults were cast really, really, really well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Bill Hader is getting a lot of praise, and rightfully so. He's excellent in this movie.
We have heavy hitters like Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy, but I really think Richie and Eddie were the two standout characters.
Yeah, they. I can easily see those kids growing up to be those adults. Even Isaiah Mustafa, I loved him in this movie.
So excited to see Isaiah Mustafa in a blockbuster.
Yeah. Eddie, like the adult who played Eddie, is like almost scary. Like, are you his dad?
Yeah,
it is like pitch perfect.
Even Andy Bean and the kid who plays Stanley. They look so much alike.
Yeah, they do.
And I could see the kid who played Billy grow into James McAvoy, but the standouts were Bill Hader and Finn Wolfhard, Eddie and his kid, and Stanley and Andy Bean.
When Eddie dies at the end,
that's really sad.
I thought it was a really interesting choice to make Bill gay. Not Bill. Richie.
Yeah. I kind of saw it at the arcade scene a little bit,
you're implied. You do see it in the arcade.
Well,
scene
not just the arcade, but what also before that when Pennywise is saying, "I know your secret."
Yeah. It's built into this movie. I know what Brandon.
Yeah, it's built into. I appreciate that the fact that they built it into this movie rather than kind of making it the reveal at the end to just kind of have it there. It does feel like there was a conscious effort to say, "Okay, well, this is how we're going to interpret this." I think that's a really good way to do that. To do something like that.
I do too. I agree.
Opening scene, sorry, Sparkz.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that opening scene was brutal.
Yeah, it's to show that Pennywise's infection is back and he's bringing hate back to the town and people are starting to be evil again. Mm-hmm. It's like that's shitty.
Yeah, I would have shitty. I would have liked one of the things that I would have liked more lore with Pennywise. Yeah, we get some of it. I kind of wanted more. We get a little bit of how he became Pennywise the Dancing Clown. When he's in Bev's apartment, we do get the sense that perhaps he took over the role of this person that was real at one time.
He thinks clowns are scary.
Yeah, and so
people think clowns are
Sorry,
scary.
people. That's
why
yeah.
he does it.
That's what I
so
meant,
he
yeah.
created this. He created this Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
He adapts
persona.
to a form of whatever he knows is going to scare people most.
Yeah.
So he's an alien, right?
He's a cosmic being.
He's
okay.
Think like Lovecraft stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
His true form is the lights.
Okay.
He has no
Yeah.
real physical form except those lights.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I liked how they interpreted that.
I think they did a really great job with that.
Yeah.
It's something that is really hard to nail down. If you
And
go
they
back to
didn't,
the
like-
original miniseries,
Yeah.
he just turns into a giant spider.
It's
so I think this
awful.
is much
Oh,
better.
okay.
It's awful.
Well, they did
man.
bring this spider, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Yes, they
'Cause
brought,
I knew-
and
I-
they
and that's
brought
in the
in
book,
his
Yeah.
spider legs, but they kept like Pennywise
The clown,
overall look.
which I
because
thought
you
was
wanted
cool.
because you wanted his performance to come through, and I think it absolutely does. Because you don't want to get rid of Alexander Skarsgård's performance there.
No.
Because he is what makes Pennywise.
Oh yeah.
Do you mean Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah.
That's the one. Who's
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård?
Tarzan. I think?
Tarzan.
Got it.
Yeah. There's a lot of Skarsgårds. Holy crap.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Which one's the Viking? Stellan?
Stellan is...
No, Stellan's the dad. Is the old
Stellan's
one.
the dad.
That's he's in
That's
Thor.
yeah.
in Thor.
Oh, who plays the Viking?
I don't know.
Which,
In
Is there a
what?
third Skarsgård?
Yeah.
In what?
Shit.
In
Vikings.
what?
The show Vikings.
In Vikings. The
Oh,
history
I
show
don't know.
Vikings.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. Okay.
Anyway, I agree. It's so hard because I agree. Like it's a problem that they're so separated in the final battle and everything. However, I would not trade away the sequence with Bev and Ben when they're reaching out to each other between the soil and the bathroom full of blood.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It's a
get
cool
rid of
sequence.
that, and I wouldn't get rid of the sequence with Bill encountering young Bill and Georgie. I wouldn't get rid of either of them. And so I'm
no.
like, I want both of those sequences because I think they're excellent, and I wouldn't throw them away.
Apparently, the stall scene with Bev, that's the most fake blood ever used in a scene.
Gustav Skarsgård is
Yeah.
in Vikings. The most Skarsgårdian.
Gustav Skarsgård.
That is the most. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade any of those sequences, and I wouldn't trade Richie and Eddie looking at the doors with the
Yeah,
Pomeranian.
oh, I
That's
love
so
that
great.
scene.
Yeah,
Pomeranian's
see,
great.
that's the thing is like I'm like I know it's long, I know it's a lot, but it's also fantastic.
And see,
so
that's the thing. Like, I don't. I totally understand what Ryan you're saying about the length. It is long for a horror movie.
But it's
but one of the things that I also have to agree with Sparkz. Like, there are a lot of scenes in this movie that I wouldn't want to get rid of, and strangely, I just wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have minded another 15 minutes of this movie, to be perfectly honest, because there was more about that I wanted from this movie. Like, damn, give me the damn turtle. I want to see that damn turtle.
There is a turtle at one moment.
I want to see that turtle talk.
That's the weird stuff that I was kind of expecting.
Matt wanted it too.
Yeah.
There is a reference to Chud, which is very important,
Yeah.
and there's even a passing reference to the tower,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciated those. Give me the damn turtle.
Yeah,
I want the weird stuff.
I thought that having these big, very talented actors in this horror movie made a huge difference. There's a version of this where, actually it's the miniseries, where it's lighter fare actors who don't bring as much of the material. Like what was so effective is Jessica Chastain's reaction or James McAvoy's reactions, Isaiah Mustafa's, everybody's reactions to the things they're encountering. Eddie is fantastic. I love the sequence where Stanley's head appears and Eddie's backed into the corner.
Oh my God, that's
and
awesome.
they can't do anything about
Yeah.
it, and it's like he's gonna die, and he's like, "Don't be mad, Bill. I'm just scared."
That was
I'm
so
too scared.
That was so sweet.
Yeah, it's really good. These actors play it so definitely. It feels sincere.
There's also
I never
Yes.
feel like anything happening to them or that they're experiencing isn't real and genuine, and that's crazy considering the material.
There's also moments where the humor. This is a much more humorous film than the first one.
Oh yeah.
But there are moments where the humor almost seems like you went for a comedy. Like when Just Call Me Angel shows up when the
that
zombie.
moment 100% doesn't work for
That
me.
is
No, it doesn't work at all.
So that was okay. I thought I was hallucinating for a second when
No.
that's something from like Army of Darkness. That does
No,
not
because I
belong
was
in this
talking to
movie.
Fanny about it on the way home about that song, and she's like, "What song?"
And
I'm
it's
like,
the only time that something like that happens in this movie.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It felt more commercial. There was little bits of that all over the movie.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's because Gary Dauberman wrote this movie alone. Because he's
Maybe.
the only scriptwriter, whereas there were 3 people working on the last one.
I don't know, because you can't you can't chalk up to him. That's more than him. That's Muschietti making that choice. That's a lot of people making the call and saying that's okay.
It's a bad call.
what was I going to say? Oh, but one of my positives is obviously whenever Bill Skarsgård's on screen.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite instances of when Pennywise is on screen is I love it when he's talking to Beverly and he's putting on the makeup and he cuts himself.
He cuts
with his
the lines
fingernails.
into his
That's really
into
cool.
his face.
And also, I really just love how his eyes glow when Ben is in the cabin. And Pennywise is like, all those sit-ups, all those push-ups, and you're going to die alone.
Yeah.
And you could see his eyes glow like a Sith Lord. And I'm like, that is some effed up imagery right there.
Yeah,
I dig that.
the girl in the bleachers where Penny was like,
that's
"Oh,
so good.
I'm a clown.
I
No one
felt
likes
so-
me."
That's his best.
I knew she was going to die, but I'm like, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, frankly, that encounter with the little girl is his best scene.
That's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's a lot like Georgie in the sewer.
Oh,
It is. It's exactly like it.
There is a lot of good. I think there's some good scares in here. I think Bev's head on fire is actually really terrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mean Ghost Rider?
See, this is why I'm saying, like, I think all of the them young flashbacks work for me. The one that, and I don't fault the movie for it, but the one that bothers me is Eddie's, because Eddie as a kid goes down into the basement looking for his mom all stacked up, and I'm like, look, dude, you fought Pennywise like twice by now.
You would not go
You
alone.
should not be questioning this.
Yeah, you shouldn't be down there.
And falling for this. This is a little too, like, you've already been in the house once.
Yeah.
This is a little too, like, okie dokie, but I mean, I don't totally fault the movie
But he
for
plays
that.
it pretty funny. Like, why is the curtain still here?
Yeah. No, when he's an adult, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about when he's a kid.
Oh yeah.
When it's his mom calling to him, and this is when they're supposed to have just broken up after going to the house the first time.
Yeah.
And I can't 100% buy that he would just, oh, okay, I'm not going to, like, question that this is Pennywise at all. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I wouldn't trade
that kid
when
is
I said
so good though.
when I said I would trade. He is the modern encounters with Pennywise afterwards. There is one that I wouldn't. It's Bill's when he's at the sewage place where Georgie died, and he has that encounter. I wouldn't get rid of that.
All the little
That's-
hands.
That's
Yeah.
so it's so important, and it's Bill's way of getting the thing back. And when he says "I hate you," James McAvoy is so good.
And telling the kid to get away, to get out of Derry.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't,
all of that
I don't
is
hear
so
anything
good.
from the sewer. I hear things from the drain.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yes. The whole thing. James McAvoy does such a good job of slowly bringing back the stutter.
Yeah.
That takes over from once he comes back to the town. It starts coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good and so layered in. I love it.
James McAvoy, Isaiah Mustafa, and Bill Hader are the three big standouts for me. I mean, the guy who played Eddie was great. Jessica Chastain, she did a great job also.
Yeah.
But I think the three biggest standouts, besides Bill Skarsgård, obviously, are those three.
I don't think there is a week.
No, definitely not.
Frankly.
Definitely
No,
not.
I think Bill Hader brings some really funny moments to this movie, and I think one of my favorite scares is actually Bill Hader's second. When he split up, when we get his flashback scare and then we get his present day scare.
the
Paul
Paul Bunyan.
Bunyan.
The-
that was messed
The
up.
Paul Bunyan bit was really messed up, but I really like when Pennywise sees him in the
yeah.
present,
It's the color changing
the
and
color
everything
change and-
behind going and swaying back and
Oh,
forth.
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that was
and all the
effed
people
up.
behind him just look up and then start swaying back and forth. It's really unsettling. Really
It's
Oh, yeah.
it's probably the only moment, even though I knew he wasn't going to get it there.
Yeah.
It's the only moment where I thought he could.
yeah,
It's the only moment where the movie tricked me. All the other modern ones, I was like, I know you're not going to get got here.
Yeah.
I know this isn't it.
Get got.
Going back to like some of the negatives you brought up, the fortune cookie scene. I've seen people talk about the CGI and stuff. None of the CGI so much bothered me except for the fortune cookie scene. That one bothers me a lot, and the reason it bothers me the most is because it's pointless. Usually when Pennywise uses fear on them, he takes a specific image for a reason. All of those don't have reasons.
It's just-
Every other encounter, every other image he takes is themed to something with the person who's seeing it.
That's just
And
a spooky
those
scene
ones
with bugs.
aren't.
Yeah.
They're just weird for weird's sake, and I didn't need them. They were unnecessary. The Stanley fortune cookie bit is enough. You do that where they get the fortune cookies.
Stanley could not cut it.
That's more
Yeah.
effective, and then just have the black tar ooze out. That would have been fine with me. I didn't need the little creatures. They look bad.
Yeah,
and
they do.
they don't match to Pennywise's theme,
Especially
that
the-
is present everywhere
The
else.
eyeball with the tentacles, that was, I feel, the worst one. Because I could tell, I was like, that just looks bad.
They're none of them are good.
Did you guys notice the de-aging on some of the kids?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I don't
Little
think I
bit.
did.
They
I
have a
don't
little bit
think
of
I
shine.
They look a little
shine on them.
glossy.
Yeah, a little shiny.
did. Okay.
Because they de-age them to look the age because some of them are
They have to
taller.
look
Yeah.
exactly the same as they
'Cause
did
it's-
in
yeah.
Chapter 1.
And unfortunately, they're at the age where they grow real fast.
Yeah.
They are growing boys.
Growth spurts.
Yep.
And Finn Wolfhard made this movie after Stranger Things 3, I want to say.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure on this one. So
around the same
So he
time.
does look different, look very different.
Yeah.
So they needed
You
to
can
do something.
you can definitely tell in some of the moments because there's ones that are clearly shot from It Chapter 1, and then there's
Yeah,
ones
like-
that
You
are
could,
Oh, yeah.
you could tell.
There
Chapter
there's
2.
like deleted
he's
scenes.
He's
from
the
it.
one who it stands out with the most, frankly. Like all the
'cause he
other
has those
kids,
big glasses.
all the other kids are kind of okay.
Yeah, the
He also got a lot taller.
Yeah.
you can tell like
He's
what-
always hunching over on the bike.
you can tell what's the difference between deleted scenes from It Chapter 1 versus what's shot new for this movie.
Yeah.
I really like when they go into the house and they're just like, love what he's done with the place.
Yeah.
With the black tar oozing to the
another
walls.
really good scene is when Pennywise is carving into Ben, and it's just like all you see
Oh,
is just like home at last, and then finally you look up in the mirror, there he is.
That's
in
an
the
awesome
mirror.
scene.
Yeah,
that is a
that's
really
a cool
good.
one.
That was an effective scare.
Yeah, and it's a cool image. The CG bits that work for me are when they make Pennywise unearthly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I prefer when they use CG to kind of highlight Pennywise's performance to make him more unearthly than even what Skarsgård can do.
Yeah.
Some of the CG moments, like you can't do Paul Bunyan without CG, and that,
No,
that
yeah.
works for
So,
me. With a lot.
30-foot Paul Bunyan, sure. Every time that they deal with like zombie people, why do they have to be CGI?
Yeah.
Why? It's
Especially
so much
'cause-
more expensive.
Especially because the leper, I think the leper in this one was CG. I'm not 100% sure.
100%.
Not
he was
not
CG.
all the time. There is one when Eddie is choking him, he's practical.
Okay.
Yeah, but the leper in the first one was completely practical.
Yes. And it does feel unnecessary, and I agree.
Yeah.
What I wish had been done is Bowers from what I understand of the book, Bowers is used as Pennywise because fear, he can't get to them quite the same
Physically.
way.
Yeah.
And that's why like he does freak them out, but Bowers is his instrument to get after them while he's killing kids. I wish that's how Bowers had been utilized a little more here.
Same.
You need the other side of that coin. Yeah.
I do really like Bowers' presence does provide one excellent thing. Frankly, I love the scene where he sees the balloon.
That is cool.
That's an
Yeah.
credit to that actor who plays older Bowers. You really sold me on the happiness of seeing that balloon and the way you go crazy about it and like tracking it to the window and being so sad when it isn't in his room.
And it's cool that like Pennywise
and then
helps
it's there
him
and
escape.
he's playing like that. All is really good.
I do wish, I'm pretty sure it was from the miniseries, that like a dog in a clown outfit helps him get out of the prison. And I was like, oh, I could have used that.
Yeah.
I could have used Pennywise dog.
Yeah. But I kind of like Hochstrasser.
No, I did too.
Doing it and having the car out front for him and everything.
Zombie friends, cool.
Yeah. But I like Bowers being in this movie solely for the fact that Eddie pulls the knife out and stabs him,
Yes.
and then later Richie's like, "Who pulled a knife out of his own cheek and stabbed Bowers with it?" Yeah, that was me. Like, that's really good, and it does build Eddie up for what he does.
Yeah, you're right.
And that is important for the narrative overall.
Yeah.
Like as much as like Bowers does ultimately for this film feel kind of needless, he's important to Eddie's arc to be able to face Pennywise.
I think my problem with this is
It's certainly not as tight.
it's not as tight. I think it's structured very it's a weird structure. It's not just a traditional 3-act structure either. So I'm like, it kind of like the entire middle act is just them on their spirit quests, and there's like very like, oh, here's Pennywise, and I'm like,
it's their time heist.
it's their time heist,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I didn't need all of this time heist, man. Like I don't know. I'm just like, Ari Aster makes really long horror movies.
Yeah.
But all of those scenes are usually like, I feel like you don't need to cut anything from those movies.
Sure.
Like I see scenes and like, if you took this from the movie would be the exact same.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for everything, but I just felt like they gave him as much budget
You're
as
in
they
this.
want.
You're in this weird like catch-22 where I think, yeah, it's easy to look at it kind of in the big picture and say like, I didn't need this of them getting the totems and everything, but you take it away and we're not spending enough time with them as the adults.
No,
and we're
yeah.
not spending enough time on the arcs that come to full closure with them. The Ben and Bev stuff isn't built up the way it needs to be, because Bev's whole thing is that she forgot who even gave her that poem,
Yeah.
and thinks for a moment it's Bill, and that's so devastating for Ben. God, I love Ben and Bev's whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad it plays out the way that it does.
Hot
The
Ben.
Bill Hader's like, oh my God, what happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Look at me. I look like shit.
yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of good play between them.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to undersell. Like I think the Chinese restaurant scene is excellent between them, but I also think one of the best scenes amongst the losers is the scene as adults when they're in the cabin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Their little hideaway that they've built, and they're talking about Stanley.
I like when they're like, what about you, Richie? Did you get married? It's like, oh, you didn't hear? It's like, no. I got. What's your mom and I have been married.
Yeah.
What's also so hard is you have to sell this idea of them remembering each other,
and
not these old bonds that they've always remembered. It's like they were close for a long time, and then they forgot. They forgot everything, and you have to sell that through this movie too, and that. They're hampered so much by the things that they have to do because that's how it's structured in the book.
What is interesting is that, I knew they forgot Derry. I didn't know they forgot each other. And they make it clear that they don't remember each other anymore.
Yeah.
And when they see each other,
Bill
like, oh my
forgets,
God, I remember you.
It's even past that. Bill forgets Georgie. And that's so rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love that scene where he's by where Georgie died, is because I'm like, man,
having
to remember all of it is so terrible.
All the emotional stuff, and again, all the characters dealing with trauma stuff is awesome, and I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think
hot take on this. I think that the flaw of the film isn't that there's too much of this unnecessary stuff. It's that there's not a little bit more to make it great.
Maybe.
I think that this movie actually needed to be longer, believe it or not. I think that's
what I said.
Maybe,
I said I would have watched another 15 minutes of this movie because there was more that I wanted this movie to give me.
Maybe that's what I need,
I think that
you know what? I think you're right, because there were parts of this movie that I thought were great, like the Ben and Bev stuff, where Bev is telling Ben about the poem and then the kiss from Billy at the end of the first movie, and he's like heartbroken.
By George, I think we've cracked it.
And it's just like, but that was me. And she doesn't figure it out until the very end. But I think you're right. There's parts of it that.
So Bill,
I want the 7-hour supercut of these two films together,
hell yeah.
please.
So Bill's wife, I forget her name in the book. It's like Ardra, but she's a major character in the miniseries and in the book.
Yeah.
And she is. I think she's in a scene.
Like she's in the first scene.
She's in the very first scene,
Bill.
and then she's completely forgot, and you kind of forget about her all the way through. And I know, like, without having a reference for this, like, you guys don't know why she's important, but I feel like you have the scene where where he and Bev like kiss again, and you completely forget that they're both married, which I guess is. I
didn't forget, but
like they pick and choose what they want.
I know why you're talking about this, and I know why. Like, oh, that would be great, but like, of all of the things, she is the thing that's like so unnecessary. I think that
don't even put her in the movie to give me that idea. Then
I get it. I get what you mean. Like, but
if you're not familiar with it, then like it doesn't matter. But like,
sure.
You introduce that character to me, and you show me she's in this movie, and then you don't do anything with her.
Well, Bev's husband was also a part in the book, I believe. Bev's husband comes looking.
But
for
we
her
have a
Derry.
scene where you see what their relationship is, and it's how it's what's it called abusive.
Yeah.
You get that from there. You don't get any. You don't really get much.
That's a tough scene.
Yeah,
that's another.
And
tough
again, that's
scene.
the thing I love about this movie is like all these people have regressed back to their childhood forms. Like Bev is still dealing with abuse.
And I mean, that's the thing.
Like
Like the whole Bill's like having his wife thing. Like it doesn't bother me that like him and Bev kiss or anything, because it's the concept of like remembering this.
Yes.
Coming back to these memories flooding you and being around that person again. I understand it. And I even like that. I feel like that moment works because later when Bill looks over and sees Ben and Bev together and he smiles when they're at the lake.
Yes.
It's like, yes, great. He understands. He knows that this is better.
Yes.
He's at a different point, but when he's kissing her in that moment, he's the kid.
Yeah.
In the first movie, there's many references to a turtle when they're in the quarry. Which, by the way, I really like the quarry scene in this film. I think that's a good one. When they're in the quarry, they're like, "Oh my God, there's a turtle down there! Give me that damn turtle!"
Did you see the turtle in this movie?
Yeah, it's in the classroom.
Yeah,
yeah. And there's a turtle toy in Richie's room and George's room in the first movie.
Yeah.
And then the turtle. In
it's
the lake.
present. Like the turtle stuff. Like Matt's talked to me too and said that he sent me a bunch of messages, and I'll go through some of them about this movie. But yeah, he said that he wanted the turtle in this movie. Super bummed that it wasn't there. But here's the thing, that is Eternals level stuff. That is Annihilation and death as an actual character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff that we haven't gotten in those movies, and there's 22 of them. Yeah. I can understand why they went, maybe this is a step too far for this film.
Yeah.
I get it. I really do. I'm like, I understand why we don't get the turtle.
Ben, to answer your question, by the way, I just remember Pennywise is from the Macroverse. He calls it the Macroverse in the book.
This is probably something like the turtle thing is probably one of the reasons that Andy wants to make the other It film.
Yeah, possibly.
To go into that
the Silmarillion
crazier
of
stuff.
It.
But the thing is that, like, there is some more stuff, obviously, from the book for him to tie into, but there's not enough where I'm like, yes, make another movie.
Yeah.
I think you'd have to do with different characters also.
Yeah, 100%. It would have to be a prequel. And I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying, like, the text doesn't exist in such an enormous amount enough for me to want that.
I agree.
I would rather just a longer version of this movie, frankly.
Yeah.
I really like, for me, everything with the ritual worked. I will say that I thought
I like the design of the ritual flashbacks.
Yeah, you love the design of the
hat?
vessel for the Mafuba, right? The evil containment wave?
Evil containment wave, baby.
From Dragon Ball. Everybody got that's what that is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, anyway.
I whispered that to him in the theater.
Yeah.
That's great.
We both like said it at the same time.
Yeah.
We were both looking at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the Mafuba.
No, actually, when Isaiah Mustafa, when Mike pulled it out, I'm like, that shit's from Dragon Ball. You bastards.
Yeah. Well, honestly, made it around the same time.
Yeah.
Who knows who took it? Probably Toriyama took it from him, frankly.
Who cares?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Mr. Krypton over there. Anyway, I told Ryan this. I feel like I'm really glad with the way the ritual is done. I like him seeing this kind of clay brought to life through CGI animation
like
it takes the form you're most afraid of, and you see this encounter with it, and it turns from like a giant raven into something unnatural, and I'm like, this is such a good way to conceptualize this, because if you try to make it something really practical, it's too hard to actually nail down, but this is very imaginative. It makes it so that it lives in your idea of what fear can be, and I thought that was a really good way to do it. What I will say is that I thought that they made the whole thing sound more complicated than it is.
I think that's my problem.
That's the thing with the exposition about the ritual. They really made it seem hard to understand, and it isn't. And I don't know why they kind of labored it as hard as they did. It's really simple. We take tokens about things from our past, we sacrifice them, we throw him into this thing and contain him. That's it. Like, it didn't need to be as complicated as they make it sound.
Because I feel like that scene went on for a really long time, and he's still explaining to Bill.
And what's so weird, and again, this is kind of where I wanted more weird. The ritual of Chud is different in the book. I was doing some reading, and apparently, like, it allows Bill to go into Pennywise's mind and find out everything and talk to the turtle, and like there's more to it in the book.
That again, like, that's the stuff that's like, maybe that's too much. Maybe this It movie audience isn't ready for this.
I totally hear what you're saying, but there was a part of me that fully expected
100%,
because everyone's reaction to this movie was like, it was so weird. Like,
It's
really.
not.
But that's
It's
the thing.
not.
We're the comic nerds, and this is a horror film that did so well with mainstream audiences. I can understand where they went, maybe this is the bridge too far.
And that's again, like that first It movie. It's very grounded. There's not a lot of There's not a lot of explaining things. So when you have this 10-minute scene of him explaining this ritual and how he spent all these years researching, I'm like, it just doesn't feel like the same thing that I was watching before.
I mean, like, you have to have the ritual, and I think that's all fine. I just think they labored the point too hard.
He over-explained it when, like, he should have been like, I found this thing, I don't even know if it works, but it's worth a try.
I mean, I like Mike going and investigating and talking to the people about it.
Yes.
I wanted all of that. I just needed it to sound simpler when he explained it.
I think that's my problem with it.
They just make it sound really difficult, in just like elaborate, and it's not. It's very basic. Yeah. In the concept.
You figured my problem out. There you go.
I'm pretty much done. What about you guys? You got any more?
The best scene for me in this movie is an homage to my favorite horror movie, The Thing. It is a shot-for-shot scene of the head growing
Stanley getting
legs,
the
spider legs,
Oh.
and then Bill Hader saying, "You got to be effing kidding me," which is a line directly from The Thing. That's an awesome scene. Spooky Stanley spider head is awesome. And then Bill Hader just goes, "Oh, it's Stanley." Like, he's not shocked. He's like, "Oh, look at that guy." Like,
And then he looks up. He's like,
"Oh, there's Stanley."
He's
there
like,
he is.
There he is.
Yeah. That scene was real great. That I didn't mind CGI there.
Yeah, I just remembered something that I was going to say.
I really like the execution of how they let you know that because they all forgot the things about their past, they wound up living lives they didn't want to.
Yeah.
Eddie married his mom.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Bev married a guy just like her dad.
Yep.
Mhm.
Things like that, where they kind of wound up repeating traumas in their lives into steps.
Bill couldn't finish sentences. Now he can't finish books.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's relevant. I don't know if that's it.
Realize that, like, it's not expanded. The idea isn't expanded on a lot in the movie because there isn't a way to do it in this film. But Richie forgot he loved Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing. Like, he just forgot Eddie.
Yeah.
So that's
and even the movie tries to make you think it's Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of like the misdirect there when we finally see at the end, because he's so
but
we can still go back.
Richie
for him.
is Eddie is the one that Richie always gave the most shit to.
Yeah.
And you see it.
And it's so cute.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the pieces of it when they're at the dinner where they're reconnecting to each other.
My heart broke when Finn Wolfhard Richie was trying to play Street Fighter with this guy who turned out to be the cousin of their bully.
Of Bowers, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like that poor kid.
It's like he just wants to play another round of Street Fighter. What's wrong with that?
I really like seeing the vulnerable.
Vulnerability.
There you
It's a
go.
hard word.
Of Finn Wolfhard.
Me too.
Because we don't see a lot of it in the first film because he is playing this type of character.
Yeah,
and
for
to
sure.
add, this is kind of where I like the flashbacks. I do question why they're there, but I understand it, I guess. It's conflicted feelings about the flashbacks. But there's where I really like the flashbacks because we get to see a side of Finn Wolfhard that we didn't see in the first film.
I think that the flashbacks are important. The scares that Pennywise brings to them are relevant. If you throw yourself back to where they were at in that first film, at that moment in time, where they'd all been broken up, I do like that they go for that. It's necessary and thematically well designed. I think that you kind of need to see that. I feel like the stakes work there. Mm-hmm. It's that the stakes in the modern ones don't land as well for me. And again, like, if I could change one thing about the movie, I would have more of Pennywise killing kids in the present.
Yeah,
I just need more of that. It gives me a little more Pennywise for this movie. It gives me a little more sense of his threat. It gives me, frankly, just easy to do scares where I know people are in danger because I know they aren't going to make it.
Yeah, so like I said, I do feel conflicted about the flashbacks. I totally understand what you're saying, Sparkz, but with Finn Wolfhard's flashback, that's where I really appreciated them because it did give us that added depth to the character that we didn't get in the first film. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Also, still on like Richie, Bill Hader at the end crying. Like after they defeat Pennywise, they're all just kind of standing there, and then Richie just starts bawling. And I'm like, oh my god, Bill Hader's acting. He's a really good actor.
Mm-hmm. and then he's got to save face. So like, I don't have my glasses.
Yeah,
I think I don't know who you guys are.
I think everybody brings a lot. Unfortunately, and it's kind of just the nature of the role. Mike Hanlon kind of gets the short end of the stick.
It's sad because he's kind of the guy that gets it together.
He's the guy who brings them together, but they don't do a lot to expand on what his personal fear is in his more adult life.
They just keep flashing back or talking about like when his parents burned in the fire. And that's like the only thing.
Because there's not a lot that he's lived with Pennywise on his mind. This isn't all coming back to him. It's not all fresh.
He's the
and
crazy
new.
guy of the town, right? Yeah.
What I wish they'd gone for is the fear that Pennywise could have played against Mike is the idea that Mike is leading them to their death.
That's awesome.
That's what I wish we had seen more with Mike.
There was a bit like that with Bev in her old apartment when Pennywise says, if you close your eyes, you'll know that you haven't changed anything. They all die in the same ways that you saw. And just close your eyes, Bev. And I like that. I would have liked more of that.
Yeah, I would have liked that for Mike because the whole thing is when Pennywise gets to the end, he's like, you didn't tell them. And you see the flash of the imagery and that clay imagery again.
I really like
the ritual killing everyone who's there.
Yeah, I really like the reveal that he's like a giant spider, dude.
Yeah.
Like when he shows up and you just see his face and he's like, oh, you didn't tell them, did you, Mike? And he like walks around like, Jesus, spider legs.
And let's talk. I like the way that I agree with you, Ryan. You brought this up right after we saw it. While they were turning him into a pathetic small clown, it should have flashed back to the first film when they made him small. When they made him beatable.
This entire movie,
it should have been juxtaposing the two.
This entire movie, we're having flashbacks and stuff, but the final battle, they don't have a flashback when they beat him the first time, and that would have been so awesome to see.
I like it because I think the point of making that first movie is that you didn't need to do the flashbacks, which is why I go back to the flashback.
But my meaning is there's so many flashbacks already in this movie.
Yeah, so I didn't mind not having the flashbacks there. What I did like was the parallel of them beating Pennywise if you have the first film in your head, because in the first film, Pennywise isn't quite prepared for them all to attack him, so he can't quite figure out what to do to them.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, Richie's in my face. Oh,
he's trying to switch
transforming.
Yeah, and he's confused but this time he's like, no, now I've got you. I've been preparing for you guys, and I appreciated the kind of parallels.
You for 27 years.
Yeah.
I like the way that the execution of Pennywise's death is really good.
Kind of felt bad for small little Pennywise there.
Not even a little.
At first, I'm like, wow, he's just a sad, small little creature. You kind of want to feel bad for him.
How many people has he murdered?
But
Exactly.
But it goes to Skarsgård's performance, because I think even in the CG moments, Skarsgård's performance really shined through.
I love his last line, which is, "Look at you, all grown up."
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
And they take his heart out and crush it.
That's pretty
cool.
Excellent. I love if you've seen the miniseries, if you know the original miniseries, this is such a good character ending for everybody.
For real.
In comparison,
Yeah.
like I as many qualms as you could have about this movie, I will put this hands and legs above that miniseries as far as execution of the finale. So good.
Just like they have like the stick, and it's like, yeah, it kills monsters if you believe it.
And that's really what it comes down to for me at the end, is like by the end of the film, the character drama landed. Even Stanley's note, which is a little can be controversial to some people, for like the admission of like why he takes himself out of it and everything. But I thought it really worked. I liked Andy Bean having that moment.
Yeah, it is really sad. But like he knew like he was the weak link, and he knew he would get them killed if he went there, and that's kind of sad. But
however, one of the things that I would have liked to have seen was that they are weaker without him. Like we get a sense of it, but we don't get a confirmation of it. That without Stanley, like the seven of them were enough to be Pennywise. Yeah. Without Stanley, are the six enough?
And again, that's just straight from the book. Like he dies, like he's the first one to go, just like that. Like,
yeah, I know, but in the book, it is made clear that
I know what you're saying.
The six of them aren't as strong.
The ritual's supposed to have 7.
Gotcha.
Even though they put his totem in there, he's not there.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to have 7. There's a reason, like there's a serendipity and fate to the characters of the fact that these 7 are stopping Pennywise.
7-11.
Yeah, so I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that.
For sure. Yeah, I get that. I still think that when you get to the end of the film, everything about these characters feels like it came to its full circle.
Yeah.
And I do find it very effective.
I think the ending is a good ending.
Yeah,
yes.
I think all of the character narratives are played really well. It's so hard when you're working from a over 1,000-page book with all these main characters, and they're all main characters. And I feel like most of them got done their due justice.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so final thoughts and rate?
Real quick, can I just read some of what Matt sent?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Because Matt was on our It Part 1 discussion, but he's not here with us now.
The Spook Slinger?
So here's what Matt had to say. More than anything, what I like about the story of It are its themes, characters, and the powerfully wistful feeling that falls over you as you reach the end. It's a masterclass in love over fear and a major punch of bittersweet right to the gut. I felt that It Chapter 2 delivered on these elements in spades. The casting and performances were excellent. People have said they would have liked more time with the adult losers, and I totally get that. But I really like what we got. I felt it was definitely all killer, no filler. The abundance of comedy was never something I found to be overbearing or obnoxious. The movie sets out to be a roller coaster, part of the deal made to make the story more accessible to mainstream audiences, and the humor plays a valuable role in it. Pomeranian behind the door, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The scares I felt were mostly of the chase variety, and that got a little bit tiresome maybe once, but I also think that the scares, be them metaphorical or otherwise, really serve the story and its themes well. You can't keep running, and the only way fear dies is from you staring it down. Cycle of abuse must be broken. Visually, I thought the film was pretty spectacular the grand majority of the time. Some of the CGI wasn't quite top tier, but that's something that people have really blown out of proportion in other places. I needed the film to expose layers of gray and showcase Pennywise's cruelty. Done. King's cameo was great. We didn't even touch on King's cameo.
A little bit.
I did in the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit.
I liked it a lot.
I feel like we haven't got a good King cameo since Pet Sematary in the 80s.
The original one, yeah.
I have mixed feelings on Stanley's suicide note. It delivered a powerful emotional punch that gave me the feeling and sense of completion that broke my heart and inspired me in equal measure at the end of the novel, but it also, by changing why he did it, muddies the waters a little bit in a way that probably could have been avoided.
Why does he do it in the book?
It's fear.
Oh, okay. So they made it kind of more righteous.
A little.
Okay. Now I totally understand why people have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Eddie is my guy. I love the way they built up his journey from being a man who literally makes a living calculating the way things can go wrong to being a man willing to believe, to love, and to fight. Super awesome. I could go on about a lot of this, but I'll sum it up for now by saying craft-wise, the first film is superior, but based on this viewing where I like the first a lot, I love this film. The meat I wanted is here. Also, no Maturin, the space turtle. Bummer. Inclusion of the ritual of Chud plus subtle allusion to the tower. I'm gonna jizz. These are all Matt's words. Plus that shot of Henry getting picked up by the corpse of Hockstetter outside the facility. Awesome. The finale was altered some, but I felt it was done in a way that gives both to the fans of the novel while making changes that make sense for this adaptation and stay true to the heart of the tale. Flawed? Sure. Okay, whatever. Could very well become required October viewing for me. Held back some tears, couldn't stop them all.
Eddie's death is really tragic.
Yeah.
Eddie's death is beautiful.
Yeah.
Frankly, Eddie's arc across both movies is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Ben,
Yeah.
final thoughts and ratings.
I still like this movie. I don't think I like it as much as I did the first one. Obviously, talking to you guys or listening to you guys talk about it, I was like, yeah, I agree with some. I may not agree with some, or I agree with some. I don't agree with some. I still don't hate this movie. I don't hate it.
I don't think anyone hates this movie.
No, I don't think anyone hates this movie either. I don't necessarily like it. I just that I really felt the length when I got out of it. I really, really did. And it's not a big bummer, but it's like, damn, they could have shaved off a lot. Rating wise, I would say it's I can't give a full rating. It's between 7.5 and an 8 for me. It's like
7.75.
Yeah, 7.75. It's still a good
7
movie.
3/4 portions.
Oh god. I think I gave the original it an 8 or a 9 or something, but there are times where I'm just sitting there going, all right, can we just hurry it up, please? Can we get to the good stuff?
Sparkz?
I really, really did enjoy this. I think this combined with the first film it's hard to adapt this story, frankly. It's just hard to adapt this story. This is probably one of the hardest books from Stephen King to put to screen. And I think that this is a superior job to the miniseries, frankly. And
100%.
And probably the only way you could get it better is to have elongated or had a third film. But I think like just trying to picture breaking that up into 3 films is kind of muddy effort. But I really like this. I think that the first film is superior in some ways. I think it's a better horror film. I think it is a horror film with great characters, and I think this is a great character film with some good horror. And I also kind of favor this a little for just that. I like that kind of story. So for me, it lands a lot better. I do feel like there are some things that could have, for this film, been taken out, but also what I would have rather is just had more to make all those things land even harder than they got to. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I give it 8.5, 8.5.
Ryan?
Yes, I at the end of the road, I quite enjoyed it, but when I look back, there are some rough spots for me, opinions, whatever. I definitely don't like this as much as the first one. I think that first one is like stellar all the way through.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I gave that one like a 9 or higher. Like I love that first movie. I wanted to love this movie, but I felt by going bigger in scope, even though it's going bigger in scope by not including the actual cosmic stuff, it kind of lost its way for me. It didn't feel as tight. But all the acting is great. Like all the scares that are there are good. I wanted this to be a horror movie. Like, it is a really good character piece, but I came to see a horror movie. It's not like it's a bad movie or anything, but I wanted this to be like the first movie, or at least stick with the tonally of what that first movie was. Mm-hmm. So I would give it a 7.5. Like, it's still 7.5. It's still a good movie. Yeah. I wish it was like that first one more.
I definitely could have used Pennywise killing kids in the modern day. Yeah. That's my biggest
more
thing.
Pennywise,
just more
please.
of that, because that would have provided a lot more of that scare.
A movie this long should not have less clown.
Like, you only see 3 people. Sorry, Brandon. You only see 3 people die in the modern age. The first guy in the beginning of the movie, and those 2 kids.
Yep,
that's it.
Like we said before, the kill count is a bit of an issue for me. I don't.
We're savages here at the Fake Nerd Podcast.
But I just can't get over. Like, I don't understand. We have the first film specifically so they didn't need to do flashbacks, and you still structure the second film like the structure of the book. I do just question it. I just can't get over that question I just have. Like, could you have found a way around it? Could you have tried to do something else? Like, that's kind of where I'm sitting with that.
I'm not a good enough writer to fix the movie's problems, but I agree with it.
Yeah. And so that's why I say I don't. It's not that I dislike them. It's just I question why
they didn't need to be there.
Yeah. So I just wanted more from this film, from this almost 3-hour film. I just wanted more of it, more lore, more weird, more Pennywise,
more turtles.
Yeah, definitely don't want that damn turtle. I just wanted to see the turtle. And I think
every Stephen King movie, I just want to see the turtle. He's always there,
floating in space.
I think the great characters do elevate this film up from where I would have given it if they weren't so good. I'd probably give it a 7.5. That's where I'm landing.
Just a quick comment about the flashbacks thing. I think one of the struggles of like why you can't eliminate it when you're coming from the book is because that's how they keep Stanley present.
That's true.
Once Stanley has passed, the way they keep him present is by flashing back on time with him as a kid. Otherwise, he doesn't feel like a prevalent character. Mm-hmm. So that's a hard part to get away from.
All right, then. Shall we move into our book club?
All right, cool, Ben.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fake Nerd Comic Shop.
Yeah, hi. Do you have any books?
Can you be more specific?
Anything readable?
All right, then time now for a book club. Ben, take it away. What Stephen King book you got for us today?
Screw you.
The Tommy Knockers.
Screw both of you.
Sparkz, it is your book club.
Hey guys, what's up? I picked a cool Image comic, right? Is it Image?
It
Yep,
is.
it is Image.
It
yeah.
is.
Called Skyward.
From
This
the-
is volume 1.
From the showrunner of Lucifer.
Mylogy Life, written by Joe Henderson, art and cover by Lee Garbett,
Who really
colorist
like
Antonio
our Pope
Fabella,
pictures.
letterer Simon Boland, art and cover by Lee Garbett, and editor Rick Lopez Jr., production by Carrie Hall.
I'm unfamiliar with Mr. Lee Garbett's work, except for this book. He's sensational.
Yes.
This is some beautiful, comic book ass
Oh
art.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is the art by itself. Is like, damn, this is some good art.
Yeah.
This is not just good. This is great.
Yeah,
art.
it's really good.
so,
the rainstorm was awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man, that was such a good scene.
so one day, gravity just stops being a thing.
Yep.
And
you know what the second issue starts with? Everything we knew about gravity was wrong.
yeah.
I was like, you bastards.
And yet it's awesome. And so this is a story about the first issue really is about this dad who seems to have kind of known that this phenomenon was going to
He's
happen.
Jor-El on Krypton.
And it's him having just had his daughter, and his wife in the moment that it happens is being pulled away
She floats
off
away.
into space. And his daughter, we pick up with her all these years later.
20 years later.
Yeah. And she has grown up in a world that never had gravity. And so this is all just natural to her. Yeah, Ben's holding out the shot of like people in space.
This is the
Yeah,
splash
orbiting
page in
out there.
space.
orbiting
orbiting the
the
Earth.
planet.
Yeah.
Just
Or just
hundreds of dead people and
Yeah.
People,
planes,
planes, cars, livestock, you name it, it's up there.
Yeah.
This is a pretty, for the most part, lighthearted book, but with some seriously dramatic
Yeah.
moments. Like, seriously, just people flying away and them crying, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. And so she works for a delivery service in
This
this
is Mirror's Edge.
no gravity
gravity.
world.
Mhm.
And she winds up getting pulled into this whole thing where her dad believes he knows how to undo all this. She
I
doesn't
can fix
really
the
want
world.
that.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of issues with her dad because her dad doesn't even want her out in the world.
He hasn't left
He has
the apartment.
absolute fear
Mhm.
and issues with the world as it is now.
Because he doesn't want to fly
Um,
off like his wife did.
Meanwhile, his former business partner has entirely profited off the new world by
Mag boots.
creating boots that allow people to stay on the ground and live life as they used to.
I really like the idea of that. Like that specifically, like they really thought out this world. Like
100%.
when you get to the at the end with the last issue, when you get to the rainstorm, the streets, like it feels very like a Neo Gotham. Like you know how in Neo Gotham the poor live up in the sky,
Yeah.
and then the rich live up down below
At ground level.
at ground level. Really like that might be reversed. But okay, but in
We
this
know what
book,
you mean, yeah.
in this book, it is that way. The
Yes.
the rich people live
It's
on
The
the
rich
earth.
people live on the ground.
It's a relatively easy concept. It's like, oh, what if gravity went away? But the world building is so awesome in this
Yes.
book,
Yeah.
and it really thinks about
What-
every aspect of life.
One of my
Like,
favorite things was right in issue 2 when she's some guys attempt to mug her and she pulls out a gun and they're like, "You crazy? You're not going to fire that!" And it's because firing the gun will blow her up into the air,
Yeah.
and she does do it anyway to
Uh-huh.
get away from them, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Which is great because nobody uses guns,
Yeah,
guns
people
anymore.
don't
She's
use
like,
guns.
That's not what I'm using it for. Pop, and she flies up, and they're like, "Oh damn, she's crazy."
She's
Yeah,
like a flying rocket.
I love Willa so much.
Yes.
In this book, she is. I know she's our main character, but she is just great in every aspect. Like when she's trying to flirt with Edison about walking. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, walking sucks, and he's like, "I know, I have no legs, girl."
yeah.
Yeah, and Edison's like, yeah, G-Day was the best thing that ever happened
yes,
to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
A character who
and
has no
she's
legs.
and
yeah.
she's all talking. He's like, "Man, I can't. I love flying around. Just the way that, she moves all across the panels." Is just like I believe that she's literally jumping from building to building, just flying through
Yeah.
gravity, and it's so well done.
Oh man, in the rainstorm with the giant glob of water. I'm sorry, I was enamored with
No,
the
it's an
rainstorm.
awesome
Yeah.
idea.
Because
a giant
It's
thing
just
of water.
a giant thing of water,
Yeah,
and she
even with-
creates this air pocket within it. Like so cool.
Yeah, or when she puts up near the end of the book when she's rescuing Edison, it says "run." And they're like, "Oh, she can't do it," and Edison's like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna do it." You don't know her like I do, man.
Yeah, doesn't know what rainstorms look like anymore, and it's
Yeah.
collects into this bubble over the city
This giant blob of
Uh-huh.
water and
Yeah.
it goes
That you can
through.
just
that you
drown
can
in.
be sucked into and drown in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the last issue This is 1 through 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we all read 1 through 5. Thank
Yes.
goodness. The last issue introduces they go to a forest and they're introduced the idea of bugs. And in the issue before, the dad's like, "Wow, that's so this place is so weird. How are the bugs? Like I always theorized the bugs would be bigger in a low G." And then the next issue, they see these gigantic dragonflies.
Yeah, there's going to be big bugs.
And I
boy.
really love the idea. Again, going back to how well thought of this world is, like. Yeah, because of their short lifespans, they adapted to the world quicker than we did, and so they just grew to enormous sizes and then killed everyone in the forest.
Yes.
Like Jesus, those gigantic dragonflies.
Do you know the bad guy's name, like the rich business guy?
Oh yeah, let me pull it up.
Tom something.
Okay, Tom something. There's a scene when G-Day first happens, and he's standing inside of his apartment.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Barrow.
Barrow, thank you.
Is it Tom?
And a dude is outside of his window crying, like trying to
Save me.
And he just puts his hand up and he's like, "See ya, dude."
Because he knew
Yeah.
because
He knew
he
this was
knew
gonna
this was going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
and the worst part about it, there's a dialogue box that says, "I tried to save as many people as I could."
Yeah.
You lying sack
Yeah.
of shit.
I also really like when it first happens in the first issue, and the coffee mug falls, and he's like, "Oh, I theorized this would happen,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I
No,
didn't know." Oh my God!
Oh,
yeah,
no.
No, at first he's like, "Man, that was my favorite mug." Oh, hey, it happened, and then he's like, "Shit,
I know
my
it
wife."
didn't need
My wife.
the idea that he realizes that this is happening, and he didn't think it was real. Like you were absolutely right with the Jor-El thing. Jor-El thought he knew the world was going to blow up, but he didn't know when or how, or even if it was right.
And nobody would listen to him.
And nobody would listen to him. And this is the exact same thing. that
Except
happened
there's
here.
the one guy, Mr. Barrow, who is like, "If this does happen, I'm gonna get rich off of it."
Yeah.
And it makes me think maybe he has something to do with it. Because
Yeah, maybe.
if the dad knows how to fix it,
Remember, everything you thought you knew was wrong.
about gravity was wrong. There's a great line that Mr. Barrow gives when he's talking to Willa, and he's like, "Oh, it's water under the bridge." That's probably a phrase you don't understand, youngling.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I also want to know more about we had to change how we farm.
Yeah.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
I want to know when gravity turns off, the water's gone.
Yeah. That's like floating, like factories, floating farms. Like that's a
Yeah.
shit. Like I'm really excited to read more about this
Yeah.
book simply for the world.
Yeah.
The
Like, it's so
world
cool.
is fascinating and so well imagined.
Yeah.
And the characters are great too. The going back to the world thing, like the way that they have the mag boots, so like the way that they'll short them out with electricity in order to make just like people who are like, "Oh no, I'm going to float away."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the way that he activates them and uses that, Mr. Barrow uses that to beat her up.
Yeah.
All just excellent
Well, he's
uses
like,
of the.
Oh yeah, you're like one of those moving punchy bags we used to use.
Think
Yeah.
about all the angles that they can use the technology
Or
or,
when the girl-
utilize the elements of this world.
the girl when she has the dress, and she's like, "Yeah, the magnets in the dress help keep it down."
Oh yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be the next hottest trend.
And I really like the idea. Oh yeah, dresses. You can't wear any
No.
dresses, even with the mag boots. You can't
Yeah.
wear
Dresses,
again.
no kilts, no. Yeah, everyone has to wear pants or shorts.
Thank God.
Yeah, and then when she does in the last issue come to confront to save Edison, when she confronts Barrow and she's right outside the window in the storm and she's holding the gun and he's like, "What an idiot! Guns don't work underwater." And she creates the air bubble for the gun to work, and he's like, "She wouldn't. She would."
Yeah, Edison's like, "Oh, she would, dude. I know her."
Brings the whole rainstorm into his office.
So
Yeah.
great.
Incredible.
Do we talk about the sad ending now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
This is
Dad.
so good. This got me real good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The dad sacrifices himself. He saves her.
Yeah.
Like he could have saved his
because
wife.
she and
She's
Barrow
float-
were fighting into space, and then they were both going to go up together, but he uses her to get back to Earth.
He pulls a Yondu.
Yeah. And he goes
Mary
back.
Poppins, yeah.
No, I'm saying like Barrow did.
Barrow did. Okay.
Barrow bounced back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the dad launches up to get his daughter.
because he kicks off of her, and so she's going up. Yeah, but the dad gets up and catches her and kicks her back and sends himself into space.
Yeah.
to be with his wife.
Yeah.
Rip.
Really sad.
Yeah, it's really good.
Mhm.
Especially
I
because
really-
the dad had just started to like reconnect with her and like get
Yeah.
used to the world.
And there's a bit I think in the 4th issue at the end of, if you read this, like the issues, I don't know if it's collected in the trade, but he says but the writer says, like, initially when I pitched this idea, it was going to be a father-daughter road trip, and they were going to do the story, and then
I could so feel it too.
and then once I realized there's something that needs to be missing for the story. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the dad shouldn't be on this trip, and
Sucks.
so he created the story around how he was able to get over his fear. and save her life.
His dying words are, "You were right. This world is beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it all." As he launches up into the sky, and then her final lines are, "I wanted to see the world. Be careful what you wish for. I don't know if I can do this, Dad, but I will if I have to. For you, no pressure, right?" Like that's some shit, guys.
That is some shit, but it's some good shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what issue it's on right now by any chance?
15 is the last issue.
Damn, really?
Well,
Okay.
that's what it is on the place I read it.
I think it's done.
Yeah.
If I were to say, I think it's done.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen a new issue on the racks in a while.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm definitely interested in read more of this.
I'm
for sure.
just the premise of the world itself. Even when I was talking to my girlfriend about this, I'm like, "Yeah, this book's really good. What's it about? Gravity doesn't exist anymore." She's like, "What? Yeah, it's gone.
So
gravity is gone."
I was trying to think of like who's the closest artist I can think of who matches this. Like David Marquez, who is right now doing Batman, Superman. He did Civil War 2. He did Iron Man with Bendis.
I see it.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, clear, like facial. Like the dude draws really great faces.
Oh, yeah.
Great
With,
expressions.
With a little bit of Sean Murphy flair.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they got the Sean Murphy kind of like movements going on.
like lanky.
I just
Yeah.
love how her hair is like floating, and I just love everything about this book. Like even
no
though it's,
detail
No.
is left unattended.
For real,
no,
like
definitely.
every panel, you're like, okay, so what would Gravity be doing right now with everything in the scene? Like, you have to think about every panel. And it's like it shows. It's cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And that's where I feel like the art and the writing, they have to be a true, like more so than other comic books. This
true
has to be a
collab.
true collaboration.
Yep.
So I think that's one of the strengths of this book.
Hell yeah,
I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun.
can't wait for more.
Yeah, issue 15 came out in July, and it does seem that is the final issue for the story.
Cool.
So it's a 15-issue series, 3-volume series.
okay,
Right
that's not
on.
too bad.
No. Yeah,
Are you gonna do all three for the book club?
Maybe for our YouTube stuff,
Okay.
where we do a deep dive, we might talk
I'd
about
love
all of
to.
Skyward. But yeah, I highly recommend this. I think it's an awesome book. I think the art's incredible. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I picked up all the issues of this. I thought this was great.
If you're listening to this and you don't read comics, I don't know why you're listening to this part, but this is a very, very easy book for introductory comic book readers. Like
Yeah.
you can read this comic and you don't have to know anything about comics. It's very straightforward and fun.
That reminds me, we actually do have comments from the
Oh yeah, we do.
from
Hey,
the
yeah.
from the thing. I always do a call to action, and this is we got some comics. At Emily Van Wetter says, one of my favorite comic books. I used to be a big fan of European comic books, but this series made me discover U.S. comics. Thrilling story, endearing characters, and above all, outstanding art. Highly recommend.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And then Tom.Brayfogle.comics says, such an incredible book.
Hell yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Brayfogle. I think this is a real guy.
I mean, I would assume so.
Oh yeah, he's a writer. I know this guy. Well, I don't know him, but I know of his stuff.
Awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. The first time I was reading it, I'm really glad that you guys liked it. I think everybody should check it out. It's a really cool little indie comic. And
Just wait for the movie. It's
my
gonna happen.
when I was at D23, I brought this with me because I had a feeling I was going to do it for the book club. So I wanted to reread it, and I passed it along to my cousin while we were sitting in the studios panel.
Is your cousin Vinny?
No, my cousin Ada.
Oh, okay.
And we were sitting
That's
in
the
there.
sequel.
We were sitting in there because we had like 30 minutes to kill, and I had comics with me, so I was pulling out another comic to read, and she was just sitting there, and I realized that because we had to put all our electronics away, she had nothing to do, and I'm like, hey, do you want to read a comic? So I passed this along to her, and she read it in that time span, and she was like, this is incredible, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I know that like comics can be like this, and I'm like, yes,
That's what I try to tell people every day.
This is it.
It's like this is the reason why we do this.
So before I read this book, it always has blurbs on the back and stuff. So it's by Charles Soule, Jeff Lemire, and Jonathan Hickman.
Oh.
So my anticipation was high, and it went through. It's good. Good book.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Very happy with this one. All right,
Nice.
Ben.
Yes,
What's your book club next week?
I actually know what it is.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Shocker.
We'll tell you next week. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're telling you now because it's Batman White Knight by Sean Gordon Murphy.
Batman.
Yeah.
Joker's rehabilitated. He's a lawyer.
I mean, I read half of it already, and I'm like, I gotta finish this. I have to make this a book club.
All right, so that'll do it for us this week. Next week, we're not sure what we're doing yet, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be the original It miniseries. So look out for that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Listen, if I could see a Pennywise puppy again, I ain't mad. Just saying.
I don't know if I want to go in that world just yet.
Beep beep. Oh, that was a great line. Beep beep, mother effer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
really
really good.
Was that a riff on the miniseries?
Beep, beep.
No, it was
Oh.
because he said beep beep Richie
Oh.
in the first one.
Oh yeah.
And so he said back to him beep beep mother effer.
Okay.
Call back.
I just like how quick thing is like, yippee-ki-yay, mother blah.
Yeah, that was
that
good.
was spooky.
Yeah,
That was good.
awesome.
That was good.
All right. We have a YouTube page. As Sparkz said at the top of the show, tons of new stuff up on our YouTube page.
Well, we're all caught up on our podcast stuff.
Our Dark Crystal.
Our Dark Crystal stuff is up. We are doing Fake Nerds Watch again.
Mhm.
It is for Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
Mhm.
That will be up in the coming week. Our first
Very
episode
cool.
of that. We're going to dive back in. And Basement Arcade is still happening with Sonic Mania.
Always
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. All right. So we also have a Funko affiliate. Oh, by the way, YouTube link in the description. Ben, I will link your article in the description
sweet.
like I have been for a while.
Yeah, thank you.
So if you guys want to read that. We are a Funko affiliate. You just click the link in the description. Use promo code SHOP10 at checkout for 10% off your purchase. We have a Patreon, which you can donate if you want to. Like I said last week, any time you guys listen to us, you are supporting our show. However you want to go that extra step. Patreon is there. We have the $5 tier, and we have the $25 tier.
Ship in a bottle.
Which Mike really loved.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Mike did love it.
He did.
Mike really loved it. I'm so happy.
He's an influencer.
Yeah. I say it is a joke. However, if you do submit to it, I will send you a ship in a bottle.
It's not a joke. It's sincere.
It's just funny sincere.
Yeah.
All right. We also have a TeePublic. We have a bunch of cool shirts up there on the TeePublic, cool merchandise. We have a Fake Nerd t-shirt. We have a Miscellaneous t-shirt. We have a Basement Arcade t-shirt. We have a Don't Be a Dick t-shirt. We have a
Suburban Proctologist.
Suburban Proctologist shirt.
Pixelated Fake Nerd shirt.
Pixelated Fake Nerd shirt, which
yeah.
is really cool. Some cool stuff, guys. You are missing out.
Guys,
Both
my
of those
wallet.
Both of those links are in the description. Also, there's a sale every month towards the third week of the month. So if you want everything for 35% off, that's where you go. Because I do understand, hey, money.
Patience is a virtue.
Thank you to everyone who listens. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do listen to us on just an audio stream, please, every once in a while, go check out our YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe subscribe.
Yes.
Even if you don't go on the YouTube as much, even if you don't have an account, make an account.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Just subscribe.
I just really want to hit 100, guys.
Change that name.
Change that name.
Yeah, like I
Not
said.
changing the name of our show, just our YouTube channel.
Like I said, links are in the description. Thank you to everyone who listens. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci, our longtime collaborator. We have a shirt. We have a Suburban Proctologist t-shirt up on our TeePublic. You can find him at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards. He does our theme music, our interim music, all that good stuff. Also, Sparkz. By the way, those theme music plates that you made for our YouTube page, awesome.
Oh, the what?
The
The
Fake Nerd
opening and
podcast
outro
opening and
ones?
the outro one.
Yeah, I'll probably be promoting them a little bit on my own Instagram.
Yeah,
Probably
they
this coming week.
I'll definitely promote one of them on my Instagram.
They look really cool.
The one with you in it.
You know the one. Yes, the one with me in it, because it has me in it, damn it.
But you can find his show, Suburban Proctologist, at iTunes and on Facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official, Instagram at Subproc Podcast. Mike Patola, thank you so much for influencing our latest Patreon tier and our logos for Miscellaneous and FakeNerd Podcast. You can find him at Mike Patola. All cool stuff there for him. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at FakeNerd Podcast. FakeNerdGuys at gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ben?
You can find me on the internet at BenMagic27 on Instagram and Twitter. And as usual, you can see me writing stuff for oldschoolgamermagazine.com. Like Brand said, there's a link to my latest article in the description. It's about why I think that we are living in a golden age of retro gaming.
Damn, dog. I love it.
Sparkz.
Thank you.
I'm Sparkz Witty. You can find me at Sparkz Witty on Instagram, SPARKZ Witty, and also on Xbox now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Tony Snark at everything.
I thought he was going to do a thing again.
I was going to do a thing, but I'm not doing it.
Breaking news, Ryan still has the Hawks
I
box.
still
Always.
haven't hit 100 on Instagram for
Not
my
yet?
account, so
damn.
no Twitter.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Seriously, guys, helps very much. Until next week, guys, stay fake nerds.
Beep, beep.